Welcome to the Dungeon House, where a bunch of regular people with regular jobs gather to play Dungeons and Dragons. We aren't professionals, so if you hear food ASMR or a baby in the back, just understand it's normal. This show is recommended for those 13 and up. The music you'll hear is brought to you by William Heaton and various other artists. We're glad that you're here to share in the fun and laughter, as well as the challenges along the way. So come on into our home, take a seat on the couch, and enjoy the Dungeon House.
Next time we go up north, I'm going to see if we can try to get it on a Tuesday or something like that. Paint movies together. That'd be so fun.
Yeah, for sure. I'd be so down. And we could even see, like, if they have nights like where you have to pay, because I'd even be willing to do that.
Exactly. It was a fun experience that it'd be enjoyable to do. I think we're live, by the way. Corey and McKay are dealing with housing stuff right now, so I'm just chilling here with their child. And my wife is still at work, and she'll probably won't be here until about 7:15. So she's coming in a little late.
No worries. You guys hear me out of curiosity?
Forgot to turn on the music. What did you say, Kyle?
You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Weird. I'm using a different setup today, so I'm just making sure.
Okay. Yeah. Why is this not coming up? Oh, there it is. Now it's coming up. Okay. All right. Give me a second. The oldest known Neanderthal engravings. It's not my word right now. Can you guys hear the music?
I can hear Kyle's beautiful piano music.
It was nice.
Sorry about that. I bet it was me that was playing at that level, but it's my roommate.
Well, if we want to keep chatting a little bit, we can. But if we want to jump into things, we can also do that. We're just missing. We're missing a couple people, but they said to just start without them if necessary.
Yeah, I'm cool to start.
Yeah. Joy, how's working at? I just blanked on the name. I know it though.
Evermore.
It's good. So we are still just rehearsing at the moment. And it's kind of hard rehearsing because I'm in the haunt. So for the October, for the spooky season, we're doing like a haunted house. Did I already tell you guys about that?
No, you're in the house. Is it like the chapel building?
So no, so they so like the whole back half of Evermore is kind of sectioned off, and it's like a nice winding path that they turn into like a haunted house. And it's really cool because they have a main cast of characters that are just out and about and do the regular things that Evermore casts do, right? Talk to people, trinket trade, things like that. But at the same time, I'm in the haunted house, and and we're scaring people, and you have to pay a little extra to get into the haunted house, but I've never actually been, but from what I've seen in rehearsals, what they've told us is going to be set up, it's well worth it. And it makes Evermore, out of all the seasons, the most money, just because the haunted house is so good. Anyways. So yeah, it's been rough because not everything for the haunted house is set up, right? So like, oh, we're going to put some tables here and we're going to have barrels over here. And so you kind of have to picture it, imagine it, try and work with what isn't actually there. So
yeah, having to pantomime everything.
That's hard.
Yeah. Anyways, but
Brandon, did you ever do the haunted hike for drama?
Yeah.
Reminds me of there was our fundraiser for our musical. One of them was doing a haunted hike up at the Fremont Indian State Park in Sevier County, and it was wild. Good time. I was a mass murderer. Pretty fun.
Yeah, it was always very quirky.
It was. It was like, it was not scary. I bet Evermore's is like really nice. They have really good costumes and really well done.
Yes, we've been rehearsing because Oktoberfest is going on right now. We have to rehearse in the daylight, and I still get scared because we have to be the patrons for these other for our teammates, our castmates, I guess.
Yeah.
So they can practice on people, and I'm still scared, even though it's bright outside. I'm also just a scaredy cat, so.
Well, they also have just like real goblins and stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean,
They're literally just demonic presences there.
yeah, they have real demons. So
Yeah, they spent the extra money to get the real thing.
the production value is insane.
There are lots of people that claim that Evermore is haunted. There's so many stories, including last haunt. Maybe it was 2 haunts ago. I don't know. I just hear stories. There was a mask, and it just showed up one day, and they're like, "This is a good mask for her name is Noelle." Anyways, and so she put it on. She wore it that night, and then it disappeared. No one had seen it before, and no one has seen it since. Like, where did it go? We don't know. So, and there's various statues around that they say are haunted. There's a haunter, and there's a ghost in the Pygmy Inn, and anyways, there's lots of stories.
I mean, if there weren't ghosts, it wouldn't be a real experience.
Right. Yes. Fun fact, though, I don't know if you guys saw it, but behind like the cathedral, the church thing was all the gravestones.
Yeah.
Some of those are real gravestones imported from England.
That's cool.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
cool. Like,
That's probably what's doing the haunting then.
yes.
There's your culprit right there.
Yeah, a little bit fussy, just barely. But good deal. I do love food, and I love going outside, but not during D&D.
Were you just waiting for us?
We just started talking, and then we were thinking about starting without you, but then we didn't. So
I guess we started almost. I think we're here now, but I might be running kind of back and forth for just making sure that everything is all good. So
that is it. Okay.
yeah, back. Okay. There's like 6 or 7 cars that don't have parking
It was
passes.
so sad. And they were like nice trucks and stuff too. And I'm like flashing.
One of them came out. Like one of the guys
right after
I put it on.
Yeah. What did he say anything or?
Nope, he just got in his truck and drove away. I'm like,
So
we hold this so I can pull up our other camera.
definitely don't like
How late can people park into your guys' like buildings?
because
Yeah,
there's not enough parking spaces for even just like the tenants. So if anyone parks there, then it's like
a no-go. So, which, to be honest, like, I don't know how many times any of the other managers have ever done something like that, actually gone through, but
all of the parking spots were full.
Yeah.
And there were people parked with passes over here on the street, so that's not fair.
Yeah, like me.
you don't have
Yeah. Chase has a parking pass.
Do you have a pass, Chase?
No, I wish.
Oh, I was gonna be like, gosh, dang, you're freaking being homies with the land maintenance peeps or the managers.
Anyway, we should probably get started here pretty soon.
Sorry, guys. We're waiting on this. I know, but it's about 10 minutes before we can get into this.
All right. Okay. Well, we had a session last time. It did happen. I remember that. But just to make sure we're all on the same page, we need someone to be able to rehearse what happened. Kyle, You were not there for the whole thing, so I'm not going to call on you, but I was thinking about it. But you know who was there the whole time? Hayes. No. I don't know. Who hasn't done it in a little while? David, I'm 40. No, he hasn't done it. Is Joy, is it your turn? Joy?
Very recently, but I will do it again.
All right, we'll have you do it then.
Okay. So last time we started when we had just like finished the fight with the big I don't even know what to call it. But the thing in the dark undercity. And we had taken a rest, debated what we were gonna do with the giant the prism thing that we called an orb for a little while. But ultimately we decided that we were going to head back up and take it with us. It was slow going. We were able to make it back out, though, through a different path than we went in. And we came across a couple of people from the Veiled Hand. We learned that their symbol is a handprint with an eye in it. And they set up a trap because they were suspicious. But we didn't see them. We did meet them face to face. Anyways, and then we reached the surface and went to the outpost. Did I miss anything?
I think that's pretty good. Pretty accurate. With that, I think that just the last place that we left, if this was like the previously on the Vigils of Yavna, you guys had made it back to that vigil outpost, and you were all sharing a meal that night, each kind of in their own element during that. But as the camera panned from the lively room where you all were partially celebrating, partially being able to finally be relieved of the worry for the people of Havnok, the camera panned over to the room which the teleporter lies, and where you had stored the prism, and it slowly and ominously just zoomed in as the music changed from the upbeat and happy song to more of a somber tone. We start back up the next morning after some celebration. You all waking up. Everything is seemingly in the same place that you left it. And it's getting close to time for you, the teleporter, to run and send you back to Oshto, to the Lighthouse. Before doing so, is there anything else that you all would like to accomplish or like to do before you leave this city? As you say your last goodbyes to the purveyor, who you're still not quite sure what his name was, but that old man who ran the outpost, you all circle up inside the same room that you'd bumped in, inside the faintly drawn silver edged circle for teleportation in the floor. As each and every one of you lines up, who grabs the prism? Like, how are you going to? Are you just going to drag it with the ropes that you tied around it, or is someone going to pick it up and carry it?
I know Opal and Ren carried it from below.
Yes.
I assume that could be the same arrangement.
I'm pretty sure you guys hadn't touched it. I think they're Barren and Ren. You guys touched it later, but I was just wondering, have you guys just decided it's easier probably just to carry it, or still kind of just dragging it around?
I would assume we did whatever we did before, which I think was the ropes.
Sounds good. After carefully tying it up and things like that, you set it inside the circle as well. With a final wave goodbye, the purveyor of the outpost mutters some sort of command word for the teleporter as you all slowly feel yourself dissolve.
Wait, take this. Gotta toss a letter out. Give it to Haas.
You toss him a letter as your form
I wasn't here, otherwise it would have been that earlier.
materializes. The letter left in the wake of your passing, making it sound like you died. You didn't die. You just get dematerialized and then reappear in a different place. Or something like that. It's magic. It works. That feeling of emptiness in your gut as you feel the butterflies kind of well up, that familiar teleportation feeling happens as you remist back into the lighthouse. You're in what's known as the dioptric ring, the central teleporter to the whole entire vigil network. You look around, it's still like kind of that dimly lit, a little bit of a recess than the rest of the area. You see a couple of those circular desks placed, and that old kind of crotchety old man in the middle who has himself and what looks to be clones standing around. You remember his name to be Ihab. As soon as you rematerialize, on the other side stands a familiar-looking man with a little bit too big and a little bit unsettling, but smile on his face. You know, like someone who looks to him. You know this as the man who introduced himself right before you all were sent to Havnok. His name was Reginald Briar, and he's your handler. He stands at the top of the stairways out of the dioptric ring, patiently awaiting for you to approach. If you all slowly make your way out of the dioptric ring, he walks up to you and says, "Hey, how y'all doing? It's good to see ya. I heard that you guys had a pretty good and successful a mission, you know, out there in Havnok. Heard that went well. How's it going? How y'all doing? How you feeling?"
Feeling good.
I like that. That's what we want here. That's great.
Do you have our money?
I do. But first, before you can receive any sort of payment, there's a little bit of you could say, paperwork that needs to be done afterwards. Now, I just want to check up with all y'all. And I know that was a little bit of a quick introduction to kind of what vigils do. I know that you guys didn't have a lot of time, you know, to get settled and stuff like that. So, yeah. How's everyone doing?
Good. I think we are, you know, getting settled into the routine of things, you know. Just doing our visual duties.
That's what we like to hear. That's the, you know, just focusing down on the nitty gritty. That's great. Another quick question. How would you feel like well, first off, let me ask this. What happened on your travel to Havnok? We've received partial information from the city itself and our network there, but we figured, you know, we could do is reach out to you that actually did the things that I see you have some sort of black box out there. So What happened?
Like role play Pinky explaining everything, or can I just say she enthusiastically tells the story with a lot of emphasis on the children?
That's up to you, Joy. If you'd like to role play exactly how she'd say it, or if you want to just say, she enthusiastically, but we all know what happened because we were all there, that's okay too.
The second option. I'm not quite in the Pinky mind space yet.
Is there any information that you withhold from what happened?
If Pinky tries to talk about the black sphere thingy that we have, Moss is going to try and shut her up about that.
Sword?
No, the
prism.
Oh, no,
prism. Yeah, Moss will
Pinky doesn't really know anything about it. She just knows that it was there. Like, she was blinded during most of that and focused on the kids. So she really doesn't know much. She'll probably skip most of that.
It's just a souvenir.
She probably won't mention the veiled hand, just because it's not important.
That's right.
As you've kind of gone through and explained basically what happened, he patiently nods every once in a while, just saying like a quick quip, like, "Oh, that's so interesting! Wow, that's very exciting for your first mission. I'm impressed." Just little things like that, just trying to build up your confidence in yourself. Maybe
He is eating it up.
The gentle parenting on this guy.
Yeah,
he's doing great.
He sees that compliments, praise. That's how you really change hearts.
Amen.
After you're done explaining, though, he will specifically address the rectangular prism. And Pinky, you didn't necessarily say much about this in your report. What have you brought back to the lighthouse?
Sure. It was there with the big bad guy, and it was spinning, and it was kind of weird and eerie, and Opal seems to think it's kind of important to have and study, but I don't know much about that.
Ren will maybe speak up and say Opal showed a great interest in it. She's planning to transfer it to her. Is it her order? The Triquetra for further study. It seems to have something to do with their beliefs.
Elia's I thought we were going to let the Vigils study it.
I don't know.
That's okay. Sometimes it's all right to not know things. But we just come together with the pieces that we do know, and that's what helps us all have a perfect picture of what's going on. Just like what we're doing here. We're just helping me understand. With that, from what we can tell just standing here, from what I can tell, it seems like a very powerful item of some sort. It would best be kept somewhere safe for the time being. Would you all be willing to take it to the Arcanium after our little debriefing here? So that way it can be, for one, safely kept, as well as we can start studying. If that's something that you all would like to join in on, we can do that. As well as if Opal's not really said a lot right now. She seems a little bit quiet. Something ever since leaving the fight, she seemed a little bit off, especially right before you all came out of the sewer. She just seemed a little bit hesitant. As well as if you want to help us study it in behalf of the Triquetra, we can also have further discussions of having your people look at it as well.
I think it's to Opal to make the call. But I know she is feeling a little bit grumpy right now, so we can ask her later.
That's okay. I understand. Sometimes you have to let those emotions be on your sleeve. Because if you leave them in, it can really break your insides. From what I remember and what I've been told, I wouldn't know. Last item of business, was there anything else, any other information pertaining to this item rather than just like what had happened that would be needed to be reported, as in anything out of the normal that you saw, any connections that may have been there that would be nice for us to know?
And what aspect? Like, what do you mean, like connections? Are you talking like?
Well, most of what people said, and it was great, by the way. You did a great job. You went into great detail of what happened, and that's what we need to know. But sometimes with what happened doesn't necessarily always tell us the ins and outs. Anything that you've seen, that you inferred, or anything like that maybe we should be aware of. How long that's if there's nothing, if everything that you want to say was in what Pinky said, that's okay. I just figured I'd ask.
I can't remember the exact what it's called. But Alia's gonna bring up, it wasn't the Vodenfell. She's gonna bring up we learned about an event called Vodenfell that the demon was super interested in and said was coming. I don't know if that means much to you, but
They called it the Night of the Void. They're trying to bring it about for the goddess Vena, but it's not the Vena you know. She's their version of her is very dark and malicious, not the kind, welcoming Vena that I'm sure you're familiar with.
I'll be honest. I only know the vicious. Wants you to, kill the people that you trust, and that's the only one I know. But the one that you know sounds very interesting.
Moss is gonna lean. Moss wants to lean over to Ren and be like, "I think you're the only one that knows who that is."
Ren will say, "It was worth a shot." But yeah, it seems to us that this whole, whatever our opposition was trying to bring about this Vodenfell, whether it be in honor of Vena or to appease Vena, something to that nature.
Interesting. Personally, I've never heard of this thing, but it sounds quite interesting. So I'll make sure that I let the other handlers know, as well as the keepers, so that way we can keep communication open and let everyone know something may be on the radar. I don't know. We'll see. That's okay. I think that's all I have for you. With that, I really appreciate the hard and diligent effort that each one of you have put in today. I can really tell that you, and not just today, this last week, I really can tell that you gave it your all. That's what I like to see. I know that in the coming days, as you continue as your path on a vigil, you'll be again asked time and time again, give it your all. But with this first start of giving it your all, I know that you can do that. You proved it time and time again, and you will continue to prove it. All right, here's your gold. And then he'll hand out different containers of gold. From what you've reported and from what we've been able to understand, you are able to relinquish the control of some sort of demonic presence that was affecting a good portion of the city of Havnok. With putting that to rest, we deemed it fitting for a substantial reward. Inside each pouch, you all find, every one of you have received 250 gold. Well, the only last thing
Say that again?
250 gold.
3,050 gold? Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Each one.
With that, the last thing I have for you, basically what now looks like, I know that you're brand new to this, that's okay. You are all basically just on call for the next while until the next mission that we get for you will come through the grapevine. Sometimes it'll be in a couple of days. It might be in a few weeks. Just depends on what happens and what feels best for us to send you to, if you get my mistake. With that, just so you know, you are free to explore the Lighthouse. You're free to go around Oshno. If you need to be contacted, your medallions the gem inside of them will light up, and that will be a summons. If that ever happens, just meet me at the Dioptic Envoy, and we will talk about your next mission. As well as, after you've dropped off that prison thing, go and see Ihab, or Ihab, I mean, not Captain Ihab, Ihab. And he will get your dorms in the keys cabinet figured out. So that's all I have for you. We'll see you soon, okay? Bye! As he kind of just almost like skips, but not quite, just upbeat, really happily walks off.
Well, let's go drop this off. So I guess we're gonna go. Go drop the crystal.
Wait, so we're dropping off the prism at the Arcanium? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And then we go talk to Ihab?
Yep.
Remind me, is Ihab does he manage the dioptric ring, or is he just kind of like a person?
So, as you kind of go talk to Ihab, what does he mean? You see two Ihabs walk past, talking with one another.
Oh, he has all the clones.
There seems to be a good number of clones running different. He's facility management for the Lighthouse, and it's just a bunch of him. It's him and a bunch of clones.
So he's like a manager.
Yeah, he manages.
Major domo.
Yeah, major domo of the Lighthouse.
Okay.
When it comes to facilities.
All right. Cool. That's good to know. He's the RA.
Yeah, it's the RA, the resident. What is it called?
Resident administrator.
Resident administrator. If you have any fights in your dorm, he'll come and knock on your door and ask you to break it up. As well as if he finds any substances on the premises, he will evict you.
And all of his clones do the cleaning.
They are. They're janitors as well.
What do you mean by substances?
I was just joking about that. It was just making fun of college RAs. What is it?
How much money did we get? I know
250 gold per person.
Isn't that so much? That's wild.
Depends on who you ask.
for Adelaide this chunk change.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, Adelaide. Step down.
250 gold? Well, I guess I can get a nice meal. Jeez.
Okay,
You
so
don't
that's
put
like
Adelaide.
one appetizer.
It
Literally.
turns out there's no alcohol or drugs allowed inside the lighthouse in the dorms.
Wait, how do you know that?
That's what Chase just said. No substances.
250.
Um,
What has happened? Sorry.
They just had the debriefing.
I'm kidding, by the way.
Reginald Briar, who is your handler, he just debriefed.
Sorry,
you.
guys. He just got his shots. He was
Not happy.
ouch.
He debriefed you, basically explained how he'll next time contact you for your next mission. It's whenever your medallion lights up, then you know,
Gotcha.
hey, time to meet up
Sorry
at the envoy. And then he asked you to take the prism to the Arcanium, as well as meet up with Ihab at some point to get your dorms figured out. So, that's
yeah,
So-
so I think we could just head on up to the Arcanium, drop off the prism, maybe see what they say about it, and then go talk to Ihab.
Yeah.
Is it just any one of the Ihabs? They'll all know?
you'll have to try and ask. You'll have to see.
Okay.
Tori just asked what's an Ihab.
And Ihab is the head architect of the lighthouse.
It's my
Yeah. He basically, him and his clones run the whole entire facility of the lighthouse. And so you'll just have to maybe guess or see if you run into the right one, or they might all be able to help you out. You're not sure yet. He just said talk to Ihab. Like, it's one person. So.
Well, maybe there's Ihab, Fhab, Ghab, like they're lettered. So you can keep track.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is Ahab, Bhab, Chab, Dhab.
Ahab is over the fishing.
Yeah,
The
whaling district.
Oh my God. That enterprise.
Yeah.
No, there's just one I have. I do love the idea. It's really fun. Okay. I'm assuming you guys just kind of head off towards the arcane.
Yes.
Awesome. As you guys go, you walk out of the doctrine, kind of going around the corner and heading towards the long spirals, large staircase that lead all the way up. You would pass probably from this point the service room and the quartermaster as you go past. As you pass the service room, Ren, your mind is reminded of the little note that Raven Reveal, the head keeper of the lighthouse, told you in regards to the Ilain Bjernhart may have some information regarding the curse of your family. And you just take that little note, which is in your brain. As you guys start your way there, you're passing different groups of vigils, different, all makes and models, years even. And you see a lot of different people. Eventually, you make it to the stairs. To this point, you have been dragging the prism. What's the plan to get up the stairs? Because you could drag it up the stairs, but that's gonna be awful.
Oh, we've been dragging it?
That's what or have you been picking it up with ropes?
I had figured that it was on a rope, it was tied up.
Covenant?
Yeah, kind of like that thing, like where there are like the ropes can go out, but we can lift it up.
Okay.
I don't know. When it comes to carrying things, I
Like
just
a
imagine
harness.
Pablo can carry everything.
What was that?
Let's just put it in Pablo's bag.
I was just like, Pablo can carry everything. So I'm just assuming Pablo's carrying it right now.
Heavier or lighter than a goat?
It's about mid.
Are there tons of people that walk through here?
Yes. That's why
We're
I
just
said.
hearing.
Hey, excuse me, ma'am. Do you know magic?
As you walk up, what kind of
Looking for someone with a nice pointy hat. Like,
this looks like literally she's wearing like a blue robe with stars on it.
Yes.
Has like a staff. She's not like super old, but she has straight up the pointy hat. If she just like looks at you and says, "No, I'm a sword fighter. I know magic." What?
Oh, darn it.
can you lift this up the stairs for us?
Maybe, yeah. Give me 1 second. She will take her staff and go, Bandubal Andubal, Odolux Resilient Strudel. And then you see a semi-transparent disc materialize close by to where Pablo is holding it. And he will set down on the sphere. Not the sphere, the disc. As it takes it, it doesn't even move from the weight. Where are we going? I need to walk with you.
Just to the Arcanium.
Okay. Hard walk, dang it.
Thanks for your help.
Rope
I'll
in.
kind of turn it through. Work smarter, not harder.
As you all start walking up with this wizard lady, you make your way up to the top of the stairs. It's quite a hike, especially for the likes of Moss. His smaller stature. Takes a little bit out of you. Pinky, you just flying. There. I would assume Moss, about halfway through, you just go back and you start standing on the disc that's floating. Would that be something that you would do?
Moss is a tough cookie, and Moss will continue to hike with everyone else, even if it requires me to take a point of exhaustion.
You're out there. You're just step after step.
No, Moss doesn't even make noise as it climbs. It's just very dignified, just like boom, boom, boom. Even though deep down inside he's dying.
Yeah.
Keep it together. Keep it together.
Point out that Pinky will be making polite conversation with the magic user. She's not just gonna walk in silence.
The magic user will ask you what your name is. So, what's your name?
Pinky, what's your name?
Hummus.
Tasty.
That would actually be an awesome name if it didn't mean hummus. Like, yeah, that's sick.
He's like, yeah, I get that a lot. It's what my parents gave me, so there's not much I can do about it. So,
Where do you come from?
I'm actually from the territory of Pronoy in the Princedoms. I help you there. That's where I grew up on a small village, kind of close to the coast. Found out that I thought magic was pretty cool, so I went and joined an academy, and then learned it for a while, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go do something else. It's kind of boring, you know? Sometimes you just need to explore. You need to go find yourself. That's what I did. I went and found myself by joining the vigils. I don't know if I found myself yet still, but I'm trying. So.
Finding yourself. I'm not sure how you lost yourself, but that's okay.
You know, maybe I never even had myself to begin with. So would it even be considered losing?
Start spiraling.
Yeah.
He is so confused. It's just going right over her head. This entire.
Anyways.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Not to get so philosophical on you. What's with the big black?
Philosophical. It's kind of clicking now.
Yeah, it was. So what's with the big black box?
Entirely sure, but it seems important to my friends, so it's important to me.
Fair enough. Okay. As you guys are still walking, so do you like magic?
Magic. I don't have too much magic that I can use, but it's really cool what I can do. I can't do what you're doing. That's out of my range, but I can do a lot of cool things.
I found that it's very useful to have magic. Except for when someone asks you to do something that you don't want to do because you have magic. That sometimes gets annoying.
Oh, I just assumed that magic fixed all problems.
It does. But it should be fixing my problems, not yours.
Huh?
But it's okay. We're all here. We're all vigils. It's whatever, you know? We're all
Barren, get ready to pick a fight with everyone.
It's whatever.
you see.
I'm not mad. Not perturbed at all. Anyways.
As she's saying that, she's like not mad, she's not perturbed. And I'll be like, I'm really glad I'm so glad we're not inconveniencing you at all. Just like very genuinely, like thank you so much. Like
I appreciate it. I try to be as helpful as I can when I can. You can see that she's visibly grimacing.
beautiful
Yeah.
smile.
Well, looks like we're here. Arcanium, the one and only. She goes, Ablando Cadambo, snaps her fingers, and then the disc dematerializes, and the rectangle goes thump onto the ground.
Just
Well, Pinky, the guy with the fishing net, the guy with the purple eyes. It was good to meet you. See you on the flip side. As she starts walking down the stairs.
She's gonna wave
Hummus.
emphatically.
Did you say bye, hummus?
Bye, hummus.
Real fast, who has the purple eyes again?
Barren.
Ooh. Attractive.
Okay. As she starts walking down, out of sight. Before you lays 3 doors, one to the archive, one to the Arcanium, and one to the Academy. Maya, Asha, your mother, Alia, works in the Academy. She's the head trainer for most vigils, especially after they finish their training as vigils. She continues to work with all of the groups. Standing this close to where she works, especially with how the last few conversations with her have gone, kind of leave you a little bit on edge, or however you're feeling.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know if she would vocalize it, though. I think she would continue.
As you guys enter into the Arcanium, you find yourself in what looks to be a large workroom, in a sense. You see very many, different tinkered upon gadgets and different, what look to be magical artifacts that are under scrupulous study, all on different workbenches and tables. You see a top floor with different, what looks to be bookshelves lining the top, as well as farther in the corner, Just across the way, you see what looks to be a doorway that has been draped with some sort of dark cloth ahead of it, and it says above it, "Keep out, serious work being done." As you look around, though, you do not see anyone necessarily out in the open as of right now, but you do hear what sounds to be some sort of talking coming from behind the keep out cloth door.
In Alia's experience, how serious is the keep out?
I imagine that you didn't really have tons to do in the Arcanium, though they were all fairly good friends of your father. So you know more as like, oh, that's my dad's roommate from college. I don't really know them, but
Okay.
You've never been past it. They seem fairly guarded by whatever lies behind the cloth. Though most of the times when your father you were with him would have entered this room, he would have kind of announced himself, and then every single time he would have given you a wink before someone came up behind that.
So I guess Alia would announce herself and say, "We have something to be studied."
With that, you can hear the voices behind their kind of quiet down, like, oh, and then you see one head poke out from behind the cloth. And you see what looks to be kind of an old, like not crazy old, but very skinny, wiry gentleman with the starting of what looks to be facial hair on him. It's not very thick. He wears glasses, has what looks to be some soot smudged on his face. He like kind of just peers out. Yes?
We have this obelisk thing we found on our mission and thought it would be a good thing to bring to you guys to study.
Very nice. Give me one moment. He closes a. All right. Amy, he like positions himself to come out of the cloth doorway without like revealing anything that's inside. At least he does his best to basically hide it, whatever's behind the curtain.
Can I make a perception roll?
Oh, yes, you may.
As he's doing that, I'll lean over to Pinky. Pinky, I bet you could pull a really good trick if you could get in there.
Oh, natural 20. First roll is a nat 20. Nat 20 with a 24.
From what you can see, with the brief glimpse, just between like the opening between his arm as he's like moving the curtain, you see what looks to be some sort of table, and you see a couple of other figures standing around it, or at least sitting around it. It's hard to make sense on whatever's on the table, but you're able to tell that there's definitely other people there, and they're what you could assume discussing something around a table.
Okay.
With Barren's announcement, Pinky's face is going to light up, and she's going to go into stealth mode.
Okay, I'd like you to do stealth check.
All right, good rolls, good rolls. Nope, that's a 10.
10. Well, he might roll worse. You never know. You know, in my mind, I was like, this guy would be pretty perceptive. Like, you'd be pretty good at it. I was thinking like a +7 at least. You rolled a 2. You're kidding. He seems a little bit flabbergasted with whatever's going on. He's like, yes. Just set it down there. Just on that table. Now, and he grabs like a piece of parchment and a quill, dips in some ink, and says, "Now, where did you find this item?"
Crap, forgot the city. What was the city called?
Not
Havnok. Yeah. It was in the Underdark of Havnok.
in the Underdark. Wow, you guys are really deep.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how deep we were. We were deep enough to find another city, so...
Not the Underdark, just underneath the city. That city is known for its layers. All right, no worries. Okay. And anything noticed thus far? Any abilities, anything like that maybe we should be aware of? Activation words, anything along that line?
Not that I can think of, no.
Nothing that they can think of. Okay, that's all I need.
It might be evil?
He unrolls the paper again. It might be evil. Perfect. Okay. Rolls up the parchment, ties it, and sets it on top of the prism itself that is now resting on one of the tables.
I have a question for you, real quick.
Yes.
With my perception check, did I happen to see my mother in that room?
You did not.
Okay. I'm going to pretend like I did and just be like, well, tell my mom I said hi. And turn around and start walking away.
Perfect. Tell mother that. Oh, not on this. Dang it.
Pulls out another scroll that's his planner.
It's all over.
Tell. Now, what was your name? You're the officer girl, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yes, I remember you. You were just this high when you and your father would come and visit us very often. He was a great tinkerer. Great tinkerer, indeed. All right, I'll let your mother know.
Where's Opal?
Opal's here. We're all here.
Okay.
You were just kind of disgruntled with everything that happened previously. So you just
Okay. And Opal grab the door. Go forward, grab the door.
The cloth.
Whatever.
As you approach it,
trying to sneak in there, so
Pinky's like already starting. Pinky's already like sneaking.
Yeah.
You can see Pinky sneaking.
Well, I'm not trying to get in.
I know.
Yeah.
As you go to approach it, he will like stand from you. Excuse me. As you can see, the sign says "Keep out," restricted area. Very important work being done there.
Yeah. I'm not trying to get in, but I want to just heavily advise you to be cautious with this item and let me know if anything odd occurs, please. The name's Opal.
Opal. Grabs out another piece of paper. Opal. Any last name?
Lillies.
Lillies. That's a very nice last name. And would you like to be notified when we first do our experiments on this?
Yes.
Would you like to be notified? Would you like to be present?
Yes.
Would like to be notified and be present. Okay, we can arrange that. That's no problem.
And what are your procedures if anything goes awry? Do you immediately destroy things? Do you immediately steal things?
We definitely take a lot of precautions to making sure that any item is able to be contained if necessary. Usually a lot of our study actually happens for the first time in a demiplane that we use for such events. Or worst comes to worst, we destroy the demiplane and scatter the object in the astral plane.
Okay.
So
Understood.
but we will definitely invite you to be there.
I wanted to DM.
Yes.
I wanted to come across as intimidating.
Oh yeah, roll an intimidation check.
Nice. Intimidation, like
You mean like persuasion?
a
Are you trying to scare him, or are you trying to just persuade him? to be like take it more seriously.
Well,
Like
we'll
the
do
coach that everyone likes.
persuasion. That's my highest. That's a 12.
Yeah, as soon as that he sees that you're genuinely serious about whatever this is, and you have a lot of weight to it, so he regards your concerns. It will be about 3 to 5 business days before we're able to get to it. Plenty of work, things like that. Okay.
You have one.
I have 1 day. Really? Around here telling me how to do my job, huh? Very interesting. Opal and Adelaide, huh? So I'm just wondering, who died and made you in charge of me?
Someone's sleeping on the couch tonight.
Hey, Kyle, stop. Well, if this isn't taken with extreme caution and urgency, a lot of people could die, and it would be on your name.
I do not want that. Maybe what we'll do right now is we'll send it to the demi-plane that we will be doing experiments on. We may still not get to it for a little bit of time, but at least there it's contained. It is not upon the plane that we are residing on right now, which gives us a lot of safety. And mostly it just comes down to I really don't like being told what to do.
I don't blame you, I don't either. However, this is serious. So let's work together, as I trust your judgment, but I also need you to trust mine.
I'll tell you what. I will make arrangements to start working on it now. And when you come back, I'll have a favor to ask. Sound like a deal?
Yes.
Perfect. I think you'll quite enjoy it as well. As he cracks his knuckles. All right, off with you all. We have important business to do.
How far is Pinky in? Like,
Pinky,
where is she at? Like, do we need to...
While this was all going on, Pinky, you've been able to get to the corner, and you're still small in stature, so you're able to kind of peer around it. Now I have to roll for the people inside the room if they can see you.
Kidding. I understand.
Okay. So there's 5 other people in the room. 4 of them, or actually no, there's 5 in total with the guy, but he left. There's 4 other people in the room. 3 of them, well, 2 of them rolled 5, 1 of them rolled a 4, and then the last one rolled a 17. I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to actually do it. So as you first peer around, this is what you see. As you look upon the table, you see what looks to be on one side a chair that's a little bit raised than the other ones, as the other people are sitting evenly spaced around this square table. Each of them seems to have some sort of notes in front of them. The one that's a little bit higher has some sort of blockade in front of them, keeping their notes hidden from the others. At the center of the table, you notice, with the quick look that you're able to get, what looks to be almost like a mock battle scene, with small figurines expertly crafted. They're playing Dungeons and they quite well. You see one larger figure. It looks to be in the form of some sort of stone giant. All of the 4 individuals that are still in this room are talking fervently, and you see one of them goes to approach the far corner with the papers that are hidden, and he starts to look a little bit over the edge. It's about that point where, as he goes to look over, he catches you looking at him in the doorway, and you make eye contact, and he goes,
think he's gonna do the confused talk, like head tilt for a second, like look around for just a minute more, And then she's gonna be like, and she's gonna slowly back away.
You didn't see anything.
Yes, sir.
So that's what you see in the other room.
Oh. She's gonna and I'm picturing that like she lets the flap close, she like turns around so it's at her back, and she's gonna do like a silent little laugh to herself.
Yeah,
She doesn't understand exactly what's happening, but she knows it's a game that they're playing, and she's like, this is really funny. They're pulling a prank on everyone else because they're supposed to be working, right? Anyways. So she's very amused.
It usually takes 3 to 5 days to get to the mark. You think that the magical items that they're able to create are awesome? You should see the rule book that they've created. It's whacked. Anyways, they call themselves the Wizards of the Coast. Anyways. With that, I'm assuming at that point you all start heading your way out of the Arcanium. Anything else that you'd like to do here? Sure. You can just ask me if you have any questions on the map or anything like that.
Ask some random civilian.
I just don't know, because Adelaide would know what that word means.
Archive?
I just
Arcanium?
Arcanium or
Yeah.
which one?
that word.
Arcane is kind of like the word of like magic. It's basically like the place for
Place of magic.
magical items. It's basically, from what you can gather, the area in which the Lighthouse brings magical items that they find, as well as create their own for the use of their vigils.
Then it had to be like a college or library. And then the archive.
Ipsworm Archive. That's more like the library itself. The archive is. The academy is more based on like teaching vigils more skills, as well as usually there's whenever you're during your downtime, and you'll come to find this out as time goes on, you'll be asked to go to the academy and you'll be taught on a specific matter, whether that is the like the weaknesses of a specific type of enemy or things like that. And that's really something that you can go and do on your own as well. If there's something that you would like to study up on, as we had kind of the rule introduced in our session 0, but it's been a long time and we haven't really used it yet. There's basically a way that you can, through training, gain yourself advantage on specific checks, as well as eventually gain proficiency in different abilities depending on what you study / practice. So the academy is basically where that happens.
Inky, did you find anything?
I think they're the ones who play the trick on us. Because they're not working in there. They're playing a game.
Don't clear that.
This is between her and Barren. Like, this is their little secret.
Sounds about right.
All right. What would you guys like to do now? You still been tasked to go and meet
I want my
Ihab?
apartment, yeah.
But if you have everything, you can do that.
I need a lot.
We didn't even get a room when we first got here. They just sent us right on a mission. Doesn't that bug any of you guys?
I actually already have a room here, so it didn't bug me.
Well, I
very
got-
much.
What?
Got an extra bed.
rooms?
I guess. I actually don't know how that's gonna work.
What do you mean you? Yeah, you live here, don't you?
Yeah. Well, not here. I live out in the town. But yeah.
You get home cooked meals.
Yeah, all the time. Granted, I'm normally the one who cooks, but they're
Alia,
generally...
you're not allowed to go back home. You must stay here and cook for us all.
I mean, I guess we can go check out how the dorms... I actually don't know how the dorms are set up, so... Let's go check out the dorms.
We have to go find that Ihab guy, right?
It's about at that point where you see a version of him, like, over by the archive. And he's just, like, grumbling as you kind of see, like, a corner's been chipped or something like that.
It's Ihab, right?
Ihab.
Ihab. All right.
Like, think about Captain Ahab, but instead of an A, it's an I.
Hey, Ihab.
Huh? What do you want?
We need directions to the, get our dorms. Brand new vigils.
Brand new vigils, and you need dorms. All right, follow me. Come on. As he starts, like, slowly, like, walking his way. He looks to be some sort of elderly elf gentleman, from what you could tell. And you know how long elves live. He's probably ancient. And with how many clones you see around, he must be a very powerful magic user. As he starts to walk away, he's like, and he walks back and he will cast mending on the stone, fixing the little chair. All right, good. You said you need new dorms? Brand new vigils?
Yes.
Okay. We have two options. You can have a dorm on the top row, or a dorm on the second to bottom.
How are the dorms set up?
We'll get that one. Get to that when we get there. Don't worry. But I just need to know the location. What do you want?
I would turn and look at everybody.
I vote the top, so that we're more central in the lighthouse structure.
Now, the problem with that is then if you go to the places like the commons or like outside, you have to farther walk. But get your steps in. That's what I always say.
So what's even in the lighthouse?
That's a great question. As you can see, as you ask that, he like kind of like just looks up in a little bit of pride, just a little happiness in his face. Right now, we're standing on the intrepidatory level of the lighthouse. Basically, it's second level up. This is where the archive, the Arcanium, and the Academy are set. A lot of vigils come there. If you need to study, if you need to learn about a magic item, or maybe get one commissioned for the right price, you can do that here, as well as just get right. Above this is the Aventadori level. That includes the Hall of the Fallen, the commissions, which is kind of like you could consider like the offices. That's where the cartographer and communications are at, as well as it includes the lantern room. Basically, that's you would almost say the HQ of all vigils operations. Are kind of headed out that way. We keep track of where our vigils have gone, where they're at, like from our reports where they are going, so that way we know who's where, as well as just making sure that resources are going to where they need to go, things like that. You know, all the bureaucratic paperwork stuff.
And are vigils allowed anywhere?
Yeah, you're basically allowed anywhere. You'll be told if there's a location that you're not allowed in, but you can head up to the lantern room. Just don't get them.
I have a problem with that.
Well,
What else is there in the lighthouse?
There's a lot of other things that you don't necessarily need to know about, but I'm explaining the things that you need to. Anyways, the level that you're going to need to know of the most will be the promontory. That's the base level. That's where they nicknamed it Keys Cabinet, or I consider that the dorms are located as well as beneath the large staircase lie the envoy, the service room, the quartermasters, and the commons. The envoy is basically the head of missions. That's where vigils that are active duty go to get their missions, things like that. The service room is basically, you could say, our hospital. A lot of vigils go out on missions. They get hurt, they get injured, lose arms, die, things like that. If that ever happens to you or one of your comrades, go to the service room. They usually can help you out. Dying is a little hard. Sometimes they can bring you back. They try. Just don't die, and then you don't have to worry about it. All right? Quartermasters, basically, it's one-stop shop for everything you need. Go there, buy things. They have blacksmith, potions, and Miriam, who's over the head of it, she does some enchanting. She has a couple magic items usually on hand. See what she has in stock if you have money. Anyways, after that is the commons. Commons is basically like, you could say, the bar, cafeteria portion of the Lighthouse. All your meals covered, since you're active. So if you ever get hungry, just go down there and eat some food. And that's basically it for what you need to know. Yeah.
Great.
All right, let's go. And he starts walking off.
Wait, we haven't been walking this whole time?
No. He was too excited to explain to be able to walk and to talk. He needs to stand there and pronounce it to everyone. Eventually, though, you do get there, whether by walking and talking or not.
Chase, real fast, can you repeat what's the room where people are brought back to life, possibly?
Service room.
At some point during this tour thing that we're doing, Moss wants to sneak over to the service room.
You're not giving him a tour right now. He's just taking you to the dorms, and then it's basically up to you guys with what you'd like to do for some of the remainder of the time.
Okay. Just heads up, Moss is going to sneak in.
No worries. As you guys head to that top level of the keys cabinet, head down about midway along the rimmed shelf. You look off to one side, it's just kind of like a straight drop down. You can see rooms underneath where you're at, different tiers and levels as well, built one on top of each other. The level that you're here gives you a very good view of this beautiful arrangement. And from what you can see, a lot of the different rooms, like the entrances, look different. They all have different kind of vibes. Some of them look just, like a normal one door, but some of them look basically like you're entering into a forest. Or some of them look like the made out of crystalline structure. Though each and every one of them, the doors have worked themselves into the stone masonry of itself. It's all kind of made to be what you would like. From what you can see, there's a lot of personality in the dorms as you pass. As you come up to a spot, you see next to where Ihab stops is a blank wall. Nothing there. All right. What kind of door you want?
What?
What kind of door you want? You want a big door? You want a small door? Medium-sized door?
Let's
She's
have.
gonna look at the prettiest, floweriest little door. She's gonna point at it and say, "I want one like that, but pink."
Pink, bam! And you see this small,
Oh, Pinky, no!
it's the size only for Pinky, and it's flowers, and it's super pretty, very pink, very illustrious, but it is only 2 feet tall.
It's our doggy door.
It's like a doggy door.
1.5 feet tall.
So this is one door for all of us, all of our door.
Yeah, this is going to be everyone's door.
Could you make it maybe able to fit? I'll look at some of us taller people. You know.
What about like one of those big doors?
I got a little excited. I've never seen a door this small. So I think that. And then the same exact door just goes, but bigger. It's like the size of a normal door.
Maybe you could make a small door and a big.
No, you just get one door.
What if the small door is part of the big door? Like it opens, like the big door is the wall for the small door.
So like you have like a doorknob in the stone that opens up, and it's just like the masonry work that's just like a secret door. But then below it is just like a little tiny flowery door that's like a doggy door inside of it.
Yeah, that's what I didn't really mean like that the door is also like stone. Like that is our custom door that doesn't involve Pinky. She has her own door.
Okay, so Pinky and Moss.
Yeah, Pinky and Moss get the cute door. Us big kids get the big kid door.
What? What are you talking about, big kids?
You're a small kid.
I am triple your age. Muscle stab him if Ren maybe picks him up.
Victor, could we do our top with some paneling?
Like wood paneling?
So,
What?
How do I explain it? Like engraved wooden outcroppings, and maybe we could do like a symbol for each of us.
Interesting. I like the idea. That's a really fun way of taking it. All right, perfect. Let's start this archway. As this nice, like almost rough-hewn granite archway that stands out from the gray stone of the normal. It has that white with almost speckled look to it. Though it's not polished marble, it's kind of that rougher hewn. Definitely has a more air of regality, as the door itself becomes a nice dark oak with different silver linings as it. At the bottom of the door still stands the little flowery door, like a doggy door. What kind of symbols do you guys want for each of your characters? Strike easy.
Adelaide would like the symbol of like Yalfa, like a star and a moon.
Like it. Like a moon with some stars. Yeah, you see a moon stars. All right, what do you want? As he points to you, Barren.
I'll just grab my dagger and stick it into the stone and just carve like just a slash in it. That's a
slash. I could have done that. You didn't need to do that. You could have just said, whatever. Okay.
Just little flowers come out of it. It's so pretty. Just kidding.
You, and as he points to you, Ren.
I don't know. This is too much pressure. I don't know a symbol that I want. Yeah, something fishy maybe.
Oh, what if you were to do like a kraken?
Can I think about it?
As it just becomes a question mark right there.
Yeah, you can have a placeholder for now, but
I would say the best thing to do is just choose now, because you're gonna forget. Everyone does. You're just gonna come to the door. Just pick something. It's not be crazy.
First thought, best thought.
I mean, you look
in the ocean.
Yeah. What do you want? You got the ocean. You got
Cool.
You got your net. You got like a fish. You got like a lightning bolt. I see your full javelin.
Maybe move on to one of the other guys.
All right, you think about it. Okay, you're last. Pinky, he points to you. What do you want?
Oh, this piggy. Cupcake.
Not a cupcake. Oh my god.
Okay, not a cupcake. How about a pink mushroom?
I don't do colors. It's only a stencil.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Colors for the door. It's not
Not the symbols. They have to match. It all has to be the silver outlay.
Okay.
Except yours, because you're... Anyways, no. We could do a mushroom. We could think that it's pink. I just can't do the color. Maybe I could.
Pretty wings.
What is it?
Wings.
Wings? Like what kind of wings? Like chicken wings?
Like my wings. She's gonna, flash her wings and flutter them.
That's a little more. That makes more sense. All right, the thump of ammo. As you see, 2 fairy wings appear on it. Asha girl. Alia, what do you want? What do you want?
What does Alia want? I don't know. I'm in the same boat as like Red. I don't know what Alia would want.
Question.
Sure.
2 question marks? Come on, guys.
Maybe like a fork and a knife, I guess. I don't know.
You don't look like a big eater, but I'll do it. Kablamo! As you can see, like a cross, like the cross bones of a pirate flag. Instead of being a skull and like a skull and crossbones, it's like a dinner plate with like a fork and a knife underneath it.
Awesome.
All right, my elevationally challenged friend, as he points to you, Melissa.
All right. Do you have a piece of paper?
No.
Sorry, what was that?
Paper though. And he hands it to you.
Moss is going to grab it, and you all watch as Moss quickly makes a quick sketch. Sort of like a half circle on the top with a square at the bottom with sort of like a jagged line through the center of it all. So Moss hands that back. It's like, hey, put this on my door.
Okay. Like a tombstone that's broken?
Similar.
Alright. Up to the flying level. As you see the description. Well, we have one left. I expect big things. You've had the most of it.
Okay. I wanna represent my deities. So here's what I've got. In the circle of like a wave tube, there's like a lightning bolt harpoon coming out of it. So you've got Baisha, Yoko, and Toyosawa in there.
Oh, that's sick. Like the harpoon with a lightning bolt head coming out of the wave.
Yeah, kind of.
Artist, something like that.
Yeah. I can hash it out later. But it looks awesome. I'll tell you that much.
It has that feel. Ah, that's interesting. I like it. It's better than question mark. Sublimo! And that is all the Problemos for this point. As he opens up the door. Actually, wait, as he shuts the door. For those who'd like to use the smaller one, you may do so now.
I think you use the smaller door.
Moss, please be ignored, no matter what.
Okay. As he opens up the door and the rest of you enter, you find yourself into a blank room with, it's like, you think just like a 20 by 20 room. There's literally nothing in it.
The potential.
The potential. All right. So how many we got here? 7? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Since we started with, you were kind of in the middle. What was it, Ren? Yeah, Ren, you were kind of in the middle. We'll start with the kind of the more end. Moss.
Again, basically like a 10 by 10 room. Any features that you really want in it. As he touches the wall, kind of the farthest to the corner, and you see a door forms, just a simple door. And on the other side, you can see what looks to be a small bedroom.
No features. Actually, a good bed.
You don't want like furniture?
In a 10 by 10 room, give me a bed, a desk, and a bookcase that holds some books.
And a bed just out of like the ceiling and just materialized. Same with like a desk and a bookcase.
He did that. He's just totally like flat. Like just like, what do you want? Bed? Whoa! You're not like fast.
Boss is actually going to be in sort of shock, and he's like, "Can I get a bust of my head?" Question mark.
Yeah, but that's probably all you're gonna get. It's like a small, like marble bust lands on the desk, and it's of a very similar likeness to you. Though it looks a little bit more stately than your usual.
Looks a little bit more what?
It's almost like if someone were to take Moss and sculpt him in a regal position, like kind of like somber look on his face. He took a little bit of artistic liberty. You can
Moss is gonna run up and like grab him real fast and say, "Hey, I know I already asked this, but could I get a different bust of my head, but try and de-age me to maybe early 20s?"
Do you got a picture or a sketch of you from your 20s? I need something to work with, man.
I don't, but you got the creativity to pull it off.
Okay, I can do my best. Can you describe yourself from when you were 20?
Moss then gives a description of what he looked like when he was 20.
Would you like to give that to everyone? Like, not as like I'm asking, I'm like asking you, would you be willing to give a description of what you look like?
Yeah. Moss would give us like same height as always been about this height. Jet black hair. The little scar on the left eye. You can sort of see it through the wrinkles right now, but the scar on the left eye. Jaw comes down at a 90-degree angle. Little bit of stubble on the chin. Lean. Sharp eyebrows.
Ooh.
Some people said I had a snarl over the face, but that's because they were afraid of me. And as Moss is talking, you guys would notice that he's starting to sort of like glaze over his eyes as he just begins like rambling off a couple things. He's like, my friends would always say that. It was very sharp to the blade, if you know what I mean. But anyways, sorry, something like that.
I think that's a good enough description, especially with I already got something to work there. I can kind of try to fill in the age gap, you could say. All right. As the bust face kind of morphs into a fairly accurate representation of what you described for yourself when you were a young man.
Moss is just he's gonna stare at this bust and he's just gonna be like, oh, it's like how it's supposed to be.
Thanks. I do pride myself on my work. I think that's like only the third bust I've done of someone for their room. So
Moss isn't even paying attention. He's just staring at that bust very intently.
Yeah. As he kind of turns to the rest of you, a little bit more.
I have a theory about Moss.
Yeah. Anyways, so next up, I think Alia, you're next. We'll put you right next to Moss. What do you want your room to look like? As you see the 10 by 10 room forms right in front of you.
Like he was pushing something out.
She's gonna look at him a little bit sheepishly, and she's gonna be like, "Is there any way to make the room a little bit bigger?"
No, sorry. It's standard procedure for these rooms that they're. No.
What? are we allowed? Okay, so I had a phone call from work while you were describing kind of what the dorms were like. Can I get a quick rundown of like
The size is basically just a set, like the 10 by 10. It's a small, like, dorm room. But the difference is basically you can ask whatever furnishings that you feel like would fit in there, and they'll be like, yeah, I can do that. To a certain extent, like if you get to the point where like I want this and this and this and this, like, then you will be like,
So is the dorm kind of like, how would you describe the dorms, if that makes sense? Is it more of like a kind of like a college dorm, or would you say it's more of like My Hero Academia dorm?
I haven't watched. I watched like the first 10 minutes of the first episode of My Hero Academia.
So the My Academia one is, it's like kind of like a house. There's like a sitting room, a kitchen. There's all that kind of stuff for it.
The room that you guys are all staying in, this 20 by 20-ish room. As you can actually see, it's grown a little bit because of the size of people that you have. So there'll be 3 rooms on one side, 1 room at the far end, and then 3 rooms on the other side. This is kind of basically big enough of an area to have kind of a common room. If you want to have stuff here, you can. You have like things that you want hanging on the wall. You do that, things like that from your travels. A lot of vigils, from what you know, use this little common room as like a collective meeting place for their group. But their dorms are usually specifically pertaining to them, whatever they would like. So whatever you want.
Okay. Is it okay if I have like a little cooking station in there?
Sure. It's a little small, but what we'll do is here, I have an idea. Boom! As a top bunk goes up. So like your bed's off the ground. Underneath that, you can see kind of like a corner kitchen has been set up where you have enough space to cook and have countertop, as well as your bed set above kind of the cabinets. So that way you can work underneath, and then at night crawl up the ladder into your bed.
And then a bookshelf would be great.
As a bookshelf on the other side.
Could it be like
just the shelf?
Could it be like a bookshelf desk, where it's kind of like it's like a desk, and then on top it's like a bookshelf?
Yeah, we do that. It's like out of the shelf, basically just becomes a desk.
Awesome. And I think that would be it for me.
Well, good deal. Enjoy it. Well, less. As he walks to the next person, I'd say that'd probably be Pinky.
Okay. I'm assuming she can have a lot more in her room because she is small, so all her furniture will be smaller.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same size, but like for you, this is like a huge flat. Very nice.
Okay. So in one corner, I want like a big tree that kind of goes up, and from the branches hangs a little hammock for me to sleep in. And then I want a little desk on one side, and a chest of drawers to keep all my cool things in. I want lots of shelves to put all the plants on. I want a little couch in the corner. I want a little bookshelf. I want a big flower chandelier if I can do that. Can we do a pink rug? Is that okay? I want a little display hook for my loot. I want a hook for my hat and a little mirror.
Let's do it. That is great.
My favorite thing is a hook for my hat. That's so cute. That's so cute.
It's like it kind of reminds you of going home, because the door and the inside of it is actually made to be like your size, but it's a little bit bigger, so like it's quite comforting in a sense. Like everything there is like Pinky size. It's really
okay, but she's going to insist that there is a way for other people to enter her room because she doesn't want to be the She may be the only person that fits all that furniture, but she wants to show off her room. Like,
we'll do the double door again as you get another door. It's not as fancy as the front one, but then a bigger door above that. So someone else.
A fancy door and then a big plain door.
Yeah. All right. Like to see it. Good deal.
There is like a normal person size like folding chair in your room. People do need to.
It's literally massive compared to everything else. It's huge. It's kind of unwieldy, but I actually imagine it's just like folded up because it's like a folding chair. It's just
like on the wall.
Yeah, like hung up on the side, so that way you can get down and.
It's hung up on the back of the door, right?
Yeah. Ren, you get the farthest door just straight ahead from the main entrance.
Okay. Here's what I want. Are you able to make it so like I have a window looking out to somewhere else?
Somewhere else? Yeah, we could probably do something like that. Sure.
Cool. Here's what I'm imagining.
It's not a real window, but
yeah, I don't want. It's not like a portal.
Yeah. If you do that, you might die. Just wondering.
It's worth a shot, you know. Okay, here's what I'm imagining. Very cozy, very bohemian, lots of textiles. I want like a sleeping mat.
Like
not yeah, for sure. I do want a shrine in there for all deities, and I'll look at them and say, "I'm not evil. Don't worry."
You know, I've heard about the beliefs of Lennon. A lot of the people there.
Okay, then you understand.
It's crazy, but I understand.
Not really, but I do want a little shrine there where I can like make little offerings, burn some herbs, you know, the whole gig. I want like one of those. They're not like ladders, but like people like hang like cloth over them, like over the rungs to like display.
Yeah,
like blankets or something. Oh yeah, see, I want one of those or something like on like the wall.
The blankets on it,
so I can like display these beautiful textiles from my home or from my travels that I acquire. A small writing desk. I've gotten really into writing, like journaling. I want to share all these stories with family and stuff, so a nice place to sit down. I don't want any like chairs. I want all like pillows and cushions. So the desk would be like lower on the ground. Yeah, like bean bags, lava lamps, Christmas lights all around. No, so yeah, like it's just like pillows and like maybe like an ottoman. Like if we're getting really into interior design, a poof, they're cozy, whatever.
Right in the middle. No.
Yeah. Yeah, so my writing desk there with like a little like oil lamp. And then I want shelves where I can like display souvenirs from like our missions that we go on.
Yeah.
And I want like empty plaques where I can display fish that I catch.
Oh, that's awesome.
For the future. And I want the window to be looking out like over like Bawuli and the lagoon there. And if it provides some sounds, that'd be cool too.
It's like generic beach with like the white noise of like the waves crashing. It's kind of like the same 10-minute loop, but it helps have the feel.
The 10 minutes are all you need.
Yeah. It might be a little longer than 10 minutes. Maybe it's like an hour loop. But it's long enough that after a certain point, you'll be able to recognize what point of the recording you're in.
Yeah. It's my favorite part. The seagull's going to come. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. He's back. All right.
I think that's kind of what I want. That's the vibe.
It's a good vibe.
Perfect. Okay. All right. You, the guy with the knife, and head strongest as the wall forms into a room. What would you like?
Nothing fancy, honestly.
As you see a sign on top of the door, it becomes nothing fancy.
And then
Uh,
honestly.
You can get rid of those.
Oh, dang it. I always love those. Like the mom signs that are always hanging in people's houses. Nothing fancy, honestly.
Do you think you could just give me like a small bed with just maybe some straws, a mattress?
Sure.
And,
I don't know that.
Pinky sized bed.
maybe a small reading nook. And if possible, something to hang up all my armor and weapons and something to train with in there.
Alright, sounds good. As a simple bed lands with kind of on the far side, a ring up, the other corner is taken up by what looks to be places to be able to hang armor, as well as right next to it looks to be some sort of training dummy. It's quite a tight room for a lot of train, but we think that you can work on some of those things. It looks like it's not like a stuck in place. Like if you want to, you can use this to kind of knock it around or stuff like that. As well as, this. He also sneaks in the nothing fancy sign in there. So, I loved it. I just don't get rid of it.
So how are you able to like do all this?
Well, it's interesting. Basically, none of this stuff exists.
What?
If you take it outside your Durham, it will basically dematerialize. Doesn't exist. But in here, in this demi-plane, don't worry. It's still safe to bring like other demi-planes. As he looks at Pablo's backpack, that's okay. That's safe. You just gotta be careful. You know, you don't want to take anything in here out that I've created. And in this state, I have kind of control just how to create tools, right? You know, I only have so much room to work with. That's why it's only like 10 by 10 rooms. It has to stay within a certain size limit. So
What happens if it gets too big?
Just say that we don't want your door to lead to a different system. So that's the biggest thing. If it gets too big, it becomes a little bit hard to control. You gotta imagine, this isn't the only one I'm dealing with. Me and the other Ihabs, we have like literally like 300 different doors, 300 different groups that we own. So it's 250. I don't know, some. But
I just thought of one more thing.
Ah.
I know it'll be a squeeze, but maybe you can make it so that it's can go into the wall or something and come out, but like an alchemy station.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, we can do that. As he basically builds and kind of like a chest into the wall close to where the reading nook, between the reading nook and the bed. Basically, if you unhinge it and fold it down, it becomes a desk that has alchemical stuff on it. Now you have to bring your own materials, but the equipment's there. And if you have more, it's very simple. It's just like a very simple get up setup for it. All right, promise we're almost done. I know this takes a long time, but it's just, you know. All right, the Moon Girl. I can't remember your name. What do you want? As the room forms.
And and you can't do decor. This is just furnishings and such.
Can do some decor. I'm just saying, if there's anything that you're really attached to from what I make, just make sure you don't take it out of the room or it'll be destroyed. And
let's see. I think I've brought most things that I need with me. Let's see. Can we do a nice 4-poster bed?
You do realize this is a 10-foot by 10-foot room.
Right, a thin 4-poster bed.
It's like it's just like a 1-person 4-post bed still, with like kind of the drapes and stuff like that.
shoved to the side.
So, Trace.
As it like
Sheets, if I can't. We'll do a good size closet for 10 by 10. You can use your discretion with that.
Do you want it to be walk-in?
To
You-
where?
Exactly. That's what the thing is. Like, it'd be literally just a closet and a bed.
Oh, this is my walk-in closet.
I'll just, I'll just put hangers around.
This is excellent. This is good. Let's maybe section up this part. We can do like a nice row of hangers over here. And then over here, let's do shelving for shoes. And maybe a few hooks for hats, crowns, and another spot for hair pieces. Could I have maybe like a clear case right here where the hangers are, where perhaps I could maybe have like a extra special casing for some of the more nicer items, collectibles and such. Hair pieces, crowns, and a vanity.
Yeah, we can do that.
The next rug. No, of course, use your own design as you see fit. But do note that my favorite colors are silver and maybe a royal blue or like a pearly pink. Yeah, they're good. And again with the rug, that's like stars, moons, and anything that has a little handle. What's the little tiny stars?
Imagine that you get the glow of the dark stars and moons on your ceiling as well. And we please have that in your room.
You turn it off. And if we have room for a window, so that should do. And let's see. I think that should be all right.
Literally, basically, what this is a very nice walk-in closet with a vanity, hanging areas above with shelves on one side for shoes, and a very nice container, almost like a hope chest that you could put a lot of your nicer things with. Glass top for displaying some of the items, as well as like a bed, and your rug, the glowy stars up above, and that's basically what you got, man.
Oh, could you add in just a small shrine by the bed for worship?
Of course. Which god? Just
Yathal.
bam.
Yes. You see, like,
What's in that?
as a shrine appears like that.
Okay. Last, but hopefully not least, yeah. Well, Ryan, yeah, I've seen a lot of good designs today. This is one of my favorite things. So, what do you got for me? As the repeat forms.
Is it possible for me to have a door that has a seal on it where only I can say the word and only I can enter and give approval for whoever enters?
Why is it secretive, Opal?
Open about everything, Ren. No.
Yeah,
Honestly,
everyone's welcome.
we don't love doing that, but well, I'll tell you this: I can make you a key for your room. Everyone has a key, by the way. Y'all get a key. Yeah, it's just part of the room. It's up to you if you want to lock your room or not. Here, as everyone that has a room, he like goes as like each one of you has like a key that lands in your hand. It's somewhat like it's kind of like a big key. It's like this big. So that's about as good as I can do.
Okay.
Take it or
Secret
leave it.
seal, aka key.
Yeah, it's a secret key that only you have, as well as I, because I can get anywhere.
Okay. Anyways, within this room, may I have, of course, a bed?
A bed.
A comfortable one.
You're comfortable. As it like airs up.
I would like a mannequin, just torso, to place my armor on.
Nice. Okay.
So, an armor resting thing.
And-
Of course, armor upkeep materials as whetstone.
You just like grinding wheel in here.
Nope, that bad.
Okay, that was just one. I've seen it before. I've done a whole blacksmith. No bed. It was crazy. He just slept in the common room on a couch.
We can do that.
It's up to you. This is your area. You can sleep wherever you want.
Is that where Pablo's gonna sleep?
No!
Pablo has to sleep out there.
Is he not a vigil?
Pablo's not an actual vigil.
He gets a vigil.
An extra bed into your.
He gets a pull-out couch. A pull-out couch.
Yeah, he gets the hide of bed.
Oh.
Oh, Pablo.
So that is the thing, is he is not a full vigil of active duty, even though he is kind of a squire to Adelaide.
Is there at least some wires of those things?
We could probably get something arranged with that.
He gets a flying bipod.
He gets a closet, an actual closet.
More than he has. Literally, he can stand in there. His tippy toes and his head both touch the seat.
That's amazing. Oh wait, this is a real quick question before we continue with Opal.
Okay.
Did anyone of either you, Adelaide, or you, Ren, describe anything to help contain Donnie?
I was just thinking about that. I do want some sort of glass enclosure.
I was thinking like you would have a fish tank. I feel like that would be like a very easy way of describing it. So we'll just say that you have a medium-sized fish tank.
Striped lights.
No.
Okay, what about this? I actually have a fish tank in my room, but there's like a divider. So like the back end, it doesn't have water in it. And Donnie can be in there and still like, there's no water, and he just like a little castle, you know, and he can like still play around in there.
You like, this is my idea, is like, it's like a rotating one. So like if you want to show off Donnie, you can like turn it to where his side of the fish tank's out. The other side's like secretive.
Yeah.
The other one's just like shows normal fish, but if you turn it around, it's like an optical illusion and it actually shows Donnie.
Yeah, so it's like when Barren comes in, I can be like, oh, turn.
Yeah, there's the button to turn the fish tank the right way.
Yeah.
Perfect. I just wanted to make sure we had an idea for how we're going to contain Donnie. Go ahead, Opal.
May I also, stretching it a little bit, may I have a type of the triquetras symbol on the wall with candles next to it, and have it be communicate.
Meditation.
No. What's the word in my head?
Communication, like
a communication device to correspond with the triquetra guild.
Sadly enough, the things I can make aren't necessarily magical, or like mechanical means. Like even his fish tank's just on rolly wheels. It's just that's how it turns around. It's just rolly wheels. So I can't do that. But if you find a communication device, like we will send you one, then you can hang it up in the room.
I'll place an order. Alright. Well, that line, can you place that with a small...
I'll put the outline for you as it forms on the wall of like a triquetra symbol.
Okay, with candles next to it and everything. For the upper part, can there be, fairy lights, but have them be lilies?
Oh yeah, like the top of the room is like wreathed in flowers.
Yeah, not too much that it's like very garden-esque, but just like a light.
Yeah.
Below.
How do you feel about them just being like stylized silver lilies? Like it's almost like a trim around the top.
Yeah, and then when the light's below, it shows the lily.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, so I'd go with that silver.
Go. Okay.
Has to be amber.
Amber. It's like it keeps changing colors. All right. Got anything else you want?
A meditation rug.
Meditation rug. That's meditation rug.
Okay. And a diary and a chest.
A diary. I would highly suggest you don't use the diary that I make because you can never leave there. But I can give you a chest. Ah! As it's thrown at the foot of it.
Okay. No, let's make it better.
A diary. Okay. And there's a book that falls on the bed. I'm just warning you. Doesn't do you any good if you leave. Or take it away.
Which did.
Okay. Suspicious. Anyways.
Okay. Could I have frames for later when I want to hang photos?
Yeah. Ba-bam, 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 ba-bam. As frames form on the wall.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. And a widow bookshelf. Not too big, a widow one.
You see a pinky-sized bookshelf show up.
That's
It's like literally the same exact bookshelf from her room. Copy and paste into yours.
No, that's too small.
Too small. Okay. A little bit bigger.
Okay, and not pink. Just a neutral tan.
Tan? So boring. Seen so many tan bookshelves. Anyways, whatever. Paladins. Just using you guys great.
Oh, and a nightstand.
Oh my gosh. Nice fans. Alright. Okay. Anything else you guys want? Anything for your common room? Don't go crazy.
Can I get a yoga mat?
Yoga mat?
I mean, yoga. I have yoga mat.
Meditation rug? That's what she had in her room.
Oh. Those are for crunches.
For benches.
For Pilates.
Is Adelaide jacked? Like, just.
Does that mean explain your body type? I showed you pictures.
Sorry, this is just so I understand. When you're describing the 10 by 10 room, when he was talking about, like, the size, it can't, like, go, like, the size can stay the same, but it can't, like, go up. Like,
No.
It's just always up.
The roof is like 10 feet tall, so it's like high roofs. And that's how, like, Alia was able to have, like, her bunk bed style bed and not being, like, running into the ceiling.
Yeah.
It's just a 10 by 10 by 10 box. As he goes to, like, leave, he's like, well,
Can my bedding have little tassels?
bedding have tassels? As little tassels show up on your bedding. All right. The last thing last, you get just kind of the simple common room. As like couches and things kind of fall into place. And all right. Hope you enjoy your dorm. If you need any changes, I'm sorry. Everything's final. Like I said, don't take anything out. Take care. He leaves. And as soon as he leaves the space, everything that's kind of been around almost kind of like an aura about it, kind of like a magical aura. As he leaves, everything almost settles and it actually feels like it's become more of a physical object than it prior was. With that, the decorations of the room have been completed. I think we're going to do a little bit of a breaky break for like maybe about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If anyone needs to go use the restroom. And then we'll jump back into the downtime activities as you guys will be able to freely do what you guys want to do with some of your time. Cool. All right. We're back. Oh, I'm eating a quesadilla. All right. Give it just 1 second as I think some of our players are kind of getting situated. So, before we get started, I just want to mention one thing. I know that there might be a lot of things, like some things that you personally want to do with you as a player. I would suggest though, whenever you go and do an activity in downtime, I would suggest, this is just a DM like suggestion. I think it'd be a more fun experience if you are be sure to like either include or invite maybe another player into something that you would like to do. You don't necessarily have to do everyone. It doesn't have to be like everyone goes and does something. I think it'll just make it more of an enjoyable time if it's not just you doing something. You know what I'm saying? That's just my one thing. But you guys are able to do what you want to do. So, with that,
a good idea.
As you guys kind of circle around, you've finished looking around your freshly designed rooms. You all are kind of just circled up in the doorway, or like kind of in the sitting area. Pablo's bedroom, I should say. He got the biggest room, guys. As you guys are circled around, looking at each other, the time is yours. You can discuss what you'd like to do next as a group, or if there's something specific that you'd like to go and do. That's the time that you can say.
Does Adelaide know about I saw on the map that you sent to the group that there was like the chapel of the sun and the
Yeah.
Does Adelaide know about that?
When you got back, Reginald would have given you that map, as well as the map of the lighthouse. The things that you guys got in the resources tab are like an actual copy of the paper that you were receiving. So basically, yes, you would know as much as you'd seen from the paper. He would have written on it, like he would have circled and put like the old ruins on it, as well as the not so secret fishing spot. As he could tell that Ren seems to be someone that loves the craft, and he's heard about the spot. So last he put it down on that. So yeah, that's what's going on. And don't feel free to discuss amongst yourself, like saying, "Oh, I think I'm going to go and do this."
I would like to go to the chapel of the sun and I don't invite I see that this could be something that might interest us. It's been quite a while since I took some time kind of like in worship, and given as how we've had the interesting experience, it might be best to go and spend some time searching for answers.
I was gonna say, Adelaide, I didn't know that you actually worship it. Never seen you.
Oh, yes. When I cast spells, I pull this out for fun because I get scared. She's gonna show her little holy symbol.
Anyway, I think that's a very good idea. Thank you for inviting me.
Is it like it's just you guys?
Basically, you guys are just like talking to each other right now, just saying, "Hey, I think I'm gonna go do this."
Yeah, I want to ask them like if this exists. I personally love gods.
Oh, let's all go worship. Let's have some church time, you guys.
Then
I'm gonna be all right without that church time. I think I'm actually gonna head down to the one place where they do all the healing. And Alia, curious if you want to join me down there.
Where are you going, Moss?
Perfect.
What's it called again? The place where they do the healing.
Center?
that way anyway.
A healing room.
The service room.
Service room.
I was
The
actually
service.
to go there.
You want to join us?
Maybe I'll go there. Yeah, I will join you actually.
Isn't the church like outside?
Yeah.
So why don't we all just head down to the first floor, to the promontory? Is that what it's called?
To the purgatory.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, right now I know that Barren, Moss, and Ren are going to the service room. Adelaide and Opal are going to go to the church. Alia and Pinky, do you know how you guys want to do?
I hurt my fingers.
First, Pablo starts slowly burning on your finger.
I mean, my first thought for Pinky was talking to people again about the missing children thing. I don't know, she'd probably get familiar with their surroundings, meet a bunch of people, just, I don't know, just fly around and be energetic little Pinky.
Pinky, why don't you join us? We
Okay.
can talk to people on the way.
She's gonna try to make as many friends as she can. That's her goal. And ask about missing children.
Perfect.
Moss, did you invite Alia? I didn't hear if you invited Alia.
Yeah, Moss has to lie if she wanted to go.
Sure. At some point, though, I probably should head home. So.
All right.
I mean, if you guys want, you guys could come with me afterwards. You guys could come out to my house.
Yeah! No, I'm taking that offer.
Food is food.
She didn't mention food.
All right. Opal,
Yes.
before we head off, I think you need to get me something.
The thing you look at with your eyes and look left to right with.
Yeah, the book.
Okay. I haven't done that reading it, right? Okay, great.
I would say probably an investigation check to be able to try to discern any other useful information.
Investigating.
Yeah.
That's 16.
16. With 16, you gain basically the status tale of what happened to Ryu or that was the old name of Havnok before it was conquered. Basically, it had been one of the last bastions of the old ways before the barracks. Bastion is like a safe place. Think about a bastion is usually considered like a tower in a castle. It's a bastion. But with time heading forward, eventually outside pressures of people who thought very differently of them. And it's interesting because you're seeing this from the perspective of someone else as you're reading it.
Yeah.
As the way they describe the usurper gods, the gods that have been sealed away, it's surprising how reverent and fervent they are. Though a lot of the hatred in their voices belies a side of evilness to these people, but also a lot of fierce loyalty to themselves as well as to them.
Can you say that again, but a little simpler?
Basically, you see signs of these people, both good and evil as you're reading them, as they very much valued their family and things like that, but they enacted in evil ways, in ways that brought chaos to each other, as family would fight against family, trying to combine power to destroy one another. And they would, the whole city itself, the reason why it was built with so many castles was because of the family feuds. That was, everyone was trying to protect themselves from constant states of being attacked or being on the defensive.
Okay.
Eventually,
Oh, yes.
eventually, though, different people from the Northlands traveled down and conquered it for themselves. Driving out the last people. It never gets to that point in the story and in the account that you're reading, as it's more of like a daily log of somebody. Never really mentioned who. It just gets to the point where they talk about moving things underground, and almost as like it basically leaves the last sentence off at saying, "We hope that we could have stayed up on the surface, but we shall retreat where the others come."
Okay. Yeah, here you go. Here's the book. Tell me what your favorite parts are.
I can't understand it.
You can't read?
It's in a. You've had to use comprehend languages to understand it, as it's in a different language that you do.
So do I need to mark that?
That was like forever ago.
Okay.
You.
The ritual one is.
Yeah, you can cast it as a ritual, so it doesn't cost you anything to use.
So, what does Alia recognize like the writing?
I don't know if you ever took a close look at the book.
I would imagine she's looking at the.
There was no title on the
Oh,
cover.
no title.
It was more like a working log for someone.
Okay.
As she hands over the book to you, you all start heading in your separate ways.
We're all going together until at least the bottom.
Yeah, you get to the bottom of the stairs, and then you hit the stairs.
Also, we could take the keys out of the room, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Keys are the one thing that we can take out of the room.
Lock the room with her blank fake diary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The keys are magically imbued to be able to be taken out. The doors themselves to these rooms, like I described them, aren't like, you didn't get personalized these ones, so they're not necessarily magical.
Gotcha.
That's why the keys work, because they're not like a fake key. They're real. All right. With that, who would like to go first? Would you like to do bully people first, or would you like to do go into the hospital?
Well, isn't Ren going to both places?
Either way, we're all going to be.
If we split, I'll go to the hospital.
Okay. With there being more people going to the hospital, we'll probably do that first. It's okay. As you guys make it to the bottom stair of the stairs, passing a lot of different vigils around here, seeing a different couple of Ihabs walking around, you eventually make it to passing the envoy, making it just across the stairway down into the dioptric ring. You find yourself in front of the service room. You see what looks to be kind of a bottom open area right in front of you that leads in. You see what looks to be kind of some sort of clerical-based people or those who know healing magic kind of posted at the
the front of it. They almost look like they're waiting for something. Almost, in a sense, kind of look like almost like guards in front of the service room. Inside, from where you can see, it looks to be different compartment rooms, different places that have been able to be like drawn with curtains to separate off places, depending on what is being needed for someone's healing. Kind of like a hospital. You can see what looks to be stairs leading up to a higher level from there as well.
Well, whatever you guys got to do in here, make it quick, I guess.
I was gonna, what you want to come here for, boss?
We'll keep it fast. So Moss is gonna head in, sort of. Is there anyone in the room that like looks to be sort of like in charge or like the main cleric healer or whatever, right?
You do not see anyone at this moment that's in charge. You just see the two people. You can almost see that they have kind of bags next to them that are basically full of medical supplies that they need to rush someone's aid they could. Standing at the front door.
So Moss is gonna walk up to him and be like, "Hey, how are y'all doing?"
Just standing here, resolute, ready to serve. If any vigils were to go through without agreeing and hurry, and pain, and anguish, and hurt,
Wow.
severe wounds,
Honestly.
we are here to serve and help them.
Honestly, without people like you keeping his vigils up and running, this organization wouldn't be anywhere. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I was going to ask. Go ahead, sir.
Just speaking poetically, as life and death are all steps, but we try to lessen the pain, and if we are able to call forth the spirits that those have departed back, we do so, and we mend that which has been broken. As it is not an easy task for what you do. We appreciate all the service that the active vigils partake in.
Wow, thank you. It's a partnership. In fact, that sort of brings me down here. Some of these battles that we're out on and adventures got a little hairy. One of my friends got hurt really bad, and we were able to keep her up and running. But during some of those scary moments, it'd be nice if we knew a little bit more about healing. I am not a cleric or anything, but I'm an aspiring druid and trying to learn more about the healing arts. I was curious if there was some sort of like knowledge that y'all had, like a library of books about different ways to heal, or any information regarding that you could provide.
Definitely study is part of it. Though, if you would like, we always are willing to have people come and serve here in the service room. For us, that has been the greatest teacher. It's just time performing the art itself. If you'd like to donate some of your time helping us, there's always people who may need assistance.
Yeah, I would love to help out, learn a little bit better about healing in general. How are y'all heal?
Perfect. Well, meet us here in the morning on the morrow, and we will start you on helping out for what you can. I know druids can be very powerful in the healing arts, as they have a very strong connection to life. We'd love to receive some of your service.
Sounds good.
As she kind of figuring that the conversation is done, nods and thank you for all coming here.
Nice. And with that, Moss is gonna get active. Ren, do you have anything?
Yeah, I'll stop around. I actually do have one more thing. I'm looking for Ilain Bjernhart.
Oh, Ilain?
Ilain, yeah.
Of course. Let us go fetch her. She's with a patient.
Well, if she's busy, I don't really want to like.
No, she's just applying some of the bombs, making sure that the ring of regeneration on this person is still charged with its magical energy. It shouldn't take much longer. Let me go fetch her.
Thank you.
This individual runs off, heads up the stairs. Not too long later, you see what looks to be you see a figure following her. As she rounds the stairs and comes in face, you can see what looks to be surprisingly a young, quite beautiful woman. She has very kind of almost like olive skin and dark brown hair, fine features. You notice that she's wearing similar clothing to the others, kind of all white robes, though you can see what looks to be some like light leather armor, probably mostly ornamental, but still part of this dress. You can see what looks to be almost like a belt of different salves and potions resting upon her. I think she wears over her white. What's the word that kind of goes over armor? I can't remember what it's called. Kind of like the tunic, but it's not a tunic.
Under the armor?
Yeah.
Like a gambeson?
Yeah, gambeson. Like above her white armor and white gambeson, you see what looks to be a brown cloak wrapped around her shoulders. Out of the way, the cloak is pulled up, kind of trying to hold down a little bit her unruly curly hair. And the one thing that really stands out that you notice about her is she has two large scars kind of etched along her cheekbones, and she has a symbol almost emblazoned into her forehead. As she walks down and talking to the other healer, says, "Now, what did you need?" After she was done explaining something with the different ointments that need to be tried on helping the patient fully recover the feeling in their regrown limb. Now, who's here to see me? What's needed? Oh, is it these individuals? Yes, this is them, my lady. Hi, what can I do for you?
We'll say, my name is Ren. I'm a relatively new vigil. I just had a few questions for you about a sickness that is affecting my family at the moment.
Of course, yeah. You and your parents can come in into my office, and we can sit down and talk. On the first floor, you're led back to the back, and around a corner, there's a small door. Or not small. It's not a small door, but it's a simple door that leads into an office with some books behind it, as well as a desk and some chairs to be able to be pulled up. And as you all enter, and she beckons you, and she closes the door behind her. I'm assuming Moss, Pinky, and Barren are still, and Alia are all still here. So it's kind of a little bit of a cramped situation while you're all here. So describe the sickness to me.
So it first affected my father just a couple years back. I was fishing with him, having a good time. I noticed that his skin was ice cold. We took him to go see the healers and the shaman and everything, but they couldn't really sense anything wrong. And over time, his condition worsened. He grew more and more cold. He started to just always be shivering. And mind you, we were from a very warm climate where shivering was rarely done, only in like rainstorms in the night. But he was constantly freezing and wanting more blankets and hot soups. And eventually his limbs would grow so cold that he couldn't use them anymore. And eventually his eyes started not freezing over, but he eventually lost his eyesight from this. We called it the frost gaze decay because it just ate him away. He eventually became bedridden, and then eventually he died. Shortly after, my mother fell ill with the same sickness. When I left home, she was in bed, bedridden. She rarely was able to get up. And it's even affected my youngest sister. Though she is, last I knew, she had still had all of her functions. She would always just be wrapped in quilts and coats and scarves to keep her warm enough. We did everything we could in terms of healing, but I'm afraid it's a curse.
You said a curse? If that, you can see that her complexion and like the way that she's kind of handling the situation changes.
That's what we believe it to be. We outsourced some healers from other villages, and we did all we could, but we could never even make their condition any better. It wasn't a conventional sickness.
Not a conventional sickness. That's worrisome. Though I don't know if I completely agree with it being a curse, just the way that you've described it. But it might still be. I've studied curses for the majority of my life, ever since I was that of an adult. And I've been trying to figure out how to break a certain curse on somebody for a long time. The thing with curses that have me questioning what this is every curse has two parts. A curse usually has a boon and a price that you paid for it. If you look at lycanthropy, you're given raw power, the ability to sense and hunt as though you were an animal. But with becoming an animal, you lose your humanity, as well as you lose your control. You turn into something that you most likely aren't. In the case that I'm trying to figure out, curses, they don't just change. They don't give you symptoms. It changes who you are. That's why normal healing doesn't work. It's not something to be healed, because it literally has changed your being. The way that your soul is written on the flows of time. If this is a curse, my only question is, what's the boon?
I don't know.
Barren's just kind of listening, kind of in the back with his kind of head down, just kind of either softly nodding or just kind of like listening.
Ren will kind of like lean forward and say, I don't know what it is, but I need to save them.
From the sounds of it, you don't have time either.
I don't, and my mother could already be dead for all I know. I joined the vigils to learn how I could help them, but my mom is dead already, and my last sister that hasn't fallen sick is probably already in bed. And maybe my youngest sister is on the way out.
Some questions for you. As this is serious. How long did it take for your father? And I'm not asking this to bring daggers into the pain that's there, but just so that way I can understand. How long did it take from the time that your father received whatever this is to when he passed?
That's something that I, as a player, don't really know. I would assume, I can't remember what we talked about at first, Chase, but like a year?
I think a year's good. Your mother's probably been sick for, I'd say, at this point, 8 months.
At least.
At least. Okay. Your sister probably at this point's been about 4 months.
That sounds right.
Okay. Well, you gave me some of the description of the symptoms. With that, what are usually diseases and even curses don't just happen by random chance. It usually comes by being in a certain place, the wrong place, or even the wrong time. Do you know if your father had ever been anywhere, done anything that could have caused a curse like this?
Ren will like look down and kind of like in a way like he's never thought about that before and say he would tell us stories about adventures he's been on. He used to travel the world doing all sorts of things. It could have been anything. But that he always made that seem like so long ago that's a different lifetime. He would always say that's not me anymore. I was reborn when I came to Bauli. I made a new life for myself.
Is he not from your village?
I guess not.
Interesting. It sounds like you don't know, and maybe I'm being presumptuous with this, but there's still a lot of things about your father that are mystery to you.
Yeah, like I said, he was always whenever he would talk about himself and his upbringing, he would only hint that he'd been so many places and done so many things that I haven't realized until now that he isn't even from my village. He would say that and I just thought nothing of it. But
I'd say our best lead on whatever this is will probably come from figuring out where your father was, what he's done. As there's infinite possibilities of what this could be. But if we're able to figure out the source of it, we will have a better chance of saving your family.
Yeah.
Ren,
Yeah.
is your family the only one that's been affected by this, as far as you know?
So far, my dad was the first one. And from him, it's just been spreading to the rest of us. But I do worry that everyone else in my village is, and they might as well be family to me.
You can see Barren kind of wants to say something. I'll just say it. The gods you worship, I don't mean to be a jerk, I'm just going to say it straight up, but most people associate those gods with curses and evil things of this world and of other worlds. And not trying to bash on you or anything your village believes, but it's a thought that could play into it.
It's at this point that Ilain will kind of start up and say, I've met people from what you've described. I'm assuming you're from Lena. Even though they have different beliefs than most of the people in the realms, most of them actually live very long and fulfilling lives. I've never heard of their beliefs leading them to be in a position like this. As in, a lot of the times this isn't necessarily something that affects them. That's something that surprises me. But I'll turn to you and say, I honestly don't think it's the beliefs that you hold that are causing the pain of your family. I'm more suspect to maybe it was something that happened to your father, or maybe it's something that has been part of your family line, that side that you don't know much about. I know that there's a lot of instances, and we have to consider all options still. But I believe that the faith that you hold in your beliefs is probably what's kept you and your family alive this far.
I like to think.
With this, my thing about curses, I can say again, there's different levels as well. As you probably know, many different practitioners in magic have the ability to just remove a curse. But some curses run deeper than just the remove curse incantation. These are sometimes considered elder curses. If it is an elder curse that we are dealing with, I pray that your gods may be able to lead you to whatever is causing it. No simple magical means are available to be able to fix something like that. I know firsthand. I used to not always be a vigil. I was raised in a coven of witches. And from that point on, I've realized that way of life isn't conducive to my principles. especially after what happened to my sister because of it.
For those watching, you might watch as Barren's hand tightens around the whip at his side.
I'm trying to figure out a way to save my sister, as she's been cursed with an elder form of vampirism. So I know the struggle that you're going through. It'll take a little bit more research. Maybe, if it's all right with you, Ren, we could plan at some point a chance to go and visit your family. Do some digging on what this could be. See if there's something that we can do to overcome this problem.
I think that would be good. And if there's anything that with for your sister, I'm more than willing to fight. And like you said, you know how hard it is. I know how hard it is too. We gotta, when we're visuals, we gotta stick together. I also pray that you can cure your sister.
Thank you. I hope at some point I'll be able to find her again. You ever run into a vampire that looks oddly familiar? I'd ask you to either find a way to put her out of the mystery or capture her. Or I don't know where she's been in these 7 years. You know, did you actually say that? Yeah. Well, it was good to meet you all. And it's good to see a fellow witch. Nice to be looking at you, Barren.
She'll say that in Reynolds terms, Barren, like, absolutely flabbergasted.
Yeah. You can see that the symbol on her forehead, now that you're closer, all of you can recognize it, as it's more of a runic drawing of what looks to be the god of the in-between, Havul. It's very akin to the ones that you've also seen around Hebesh. Very similar in manner. We'll be in touch, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Now, I hope I don't see you here pretty soon after you've lost an arm or any sort of body part. So take care of yourself. You all take care. As you all exit her office, you see that she stands there and just kind of looks down, and she almost has a grimace on her face. Let me send a picture of what she looks like in the...
As we're leaving, I'm just going to spit on the ground. Just keep walking.
Ren will say, Barren, we have some stuff to talk about.
He says,
Ooh. Rama in the boys' house.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe Ren and Barren can have their bathroom moment, like Opal and Adelaide had.
Yeah.
Oh, she's awesome.
Let me see this.
But I don't see it.
It's in the resources.
Oh yes, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, resources. I was looking at the ladies' bathroom still.
The ladies' powder room. There's a difference.
I'm going to the quartermaster and then getting a drink.
What's this girl's name again?
What's this lady's name?
Yeah.
I'm right.
What was it?
Let me make sure I spell it right.
Ilain Bjernhart.
Ilain Bjernhart.
Ilain.
And the real question at the end of the day, how old is she?
She's young. She's not that old.
Bro, you trying to romance her?
Hey. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Times are tough for us.
Very.
I've been really excited to introduce this character for a while.
Yeah, she's cool.
She's gonna be interesting.
Okay. I'll just remind it. Okay. With that, we're going to change our perspective over to Opal and Adelaide as you guys head towards the Chapel of the Sun and Moon. What you guys have a fairly good walk ahead of you. It's probably about an hour or so away. So a couple of miles through the fielded area. As you head out, the lighthouse, the township right around it, you pass a lot of different people. But as soon as you leave the lighthouse itself, you can see a difference in the type of people that you recognize around you, as a lot of them look to be more older people that have retired, become farmers, become craftsmen, people that aren't necessarily active at this point. This is the first time that you've both really been able to have free roam and walk around the terraced fields. In the distance, you can see Lake Lonato in the distance. Is there anything that you guys would like to talk about or do while you're on your walk?
I think Opal will just start to also make a kind of uncomfortable face, just pondering of what you described of past vigils living their lives out just outside the lighthouse.
Are you looking at the people?
Oh, a little, not in a weird way, I promise.
She just has bloodlust in her eyes. She wants to murder someone.
Oh my! Why'd you have to jump to that? So, how are you?
Pretty well.
Good, because not.
I've noticed. What's going on?
Is it too quiet for everyone that's on chat? Just wondering.
I mean, it's fine.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
I'll talk loud to make sure. Yeah. Well. I'm just. Adelaide, I wasn't completely honest with you or everyone else.
Well, I'm very anxious to know the truth. And know that if you do share it and do not want me to share it with anyone else, then I can't keep a secret.
Okay. Yeah. There's, as I mentioned that day, just a little while ago, not even that long ago, it's very curious that Well, I can suspect as much, but you were there in the vision, and that opal, I don't know. And it frightens me as I don't know what I can do to help.
Have you been helped by other opals?
Well, that's the thing. Opal will start to get tears in her eyes and just start to shake a little bit as there are no other opals. And she looks down and just tears start to fall from her face. The Hero of Lillies is me. I've lived so many lives. I just keep coming back. And I want it to end. There's so many lives I've lived that I don't remember. And when I do remember, I've been told that that means my time is near and my mission is complete. And then what happens after, I don't know. Do I die? Do I just fulfill my mission and I don't get to live my life? As these kind people that I'm chosen to protect, they get to choose. And all because of my decision from the very beginning to sacrifice my life and be reincarnated repeatedly, I don't get a life.
Adelaide was a slow beat, like slow to walk. So that she was just standing and she put up an arm around Opal and just this is more than anything that I've even heard of. Just forgive me forgive me for my ignorance. And thank you for sharing with me this part of me that I admit is frightening.
The thing that frightens me more is Opal will look back at you and with tears, but with like wide eyes, and just like, you've been chosen too. And I don't know what that means.
Either. I don't know if my situation is similar to yours. I have no recollection of any connection with anything from the past or anything from the future. I'm intrigued of why I was permitted to see her vision. That is why I was hoping to push us. Listen, she's gonna pat you back and Opal, you do have your own life. And though there is a set array of events, perhaps, for what awaits your future, you have your choice. And I will strive to protect that choice for you. You've got a lot of good to do, and I think there's a lot to learn about ways that we can help you to be. But I don't know. This is who you are, and what you've been, and what you're going to become is bigger than anything I've ever heard about or ever studied. And I don't know how much comfort it will offer you, but I feel very proud to be a friend of the Hero of Lillies.
Opal will look back and make a, that smile that you're like, and some of it's some genuine, some of it's like, I have no idea how to feel right now. As she's deeply touched by that comment, but immediately like other thoughts come in of like, what if that other Opal does come to pass, and what if she forgets all of her friends again and everything? So a lot of things are running through her mind as, what if I abandon my duty? What will happen then? What if Adelaide's chosen to suffer the same fate as I have, to live repeatedly for multiple purposes of defending the world and keeping destruction and manipulation of the gods at bay? Just, what does that mean? So those are all along with other very jumbled up, just kind of anxious, kind of getting on the verge of like losing it and collapsing and just covering her head and just crying for so much confusion and disarray. But she's hidden it well. She can still put on a face. So just that half smile, half I don't know. So that in perspective. Adelaide, thank you for listening. As maybe my description of my room kind of entails, is I don't know how to share this with the others yet, as the last time I did sharing time, Barren was like, oh, whatever. As this is forever, and I've been pondering of if I can break this cycle, but what does that mean for the rest of the world, as suddenly there's no hero to be reincarnated in times of great destruction? Do I finally get rest? Or does everything I ever loved suddenly fall apart? Ugh. Well, I'm getting nauseous.
Well, my father always used to say, carry on. And so, I think we do that.
Yes. And I promise I'll share this with the others in an appropriate manner, and maybe more sternly with Barren, as you respect my other. We'll see. Maybe I should give him a chance. I don't know. We'll see. But enough about me, because there's plenty about me, but I trust you because I don't know what will happen with you either. So, but it's good to finally get that off my chest, but it's fearful of what that means. It means tears and upset and
Crying babies.
crying babies. No, yeah. Anyway, back in character. It's good to get that off my chest, because hiding the burden just makes it even worse, as it's like living a lie. So maybe I should accept my fate. Just be a lily and wave in the wind and call it a day. Opal will do a little dance.
About at this point, as you both are kind of dancing up to the chapel of the moon or of the sun and moon, as you look up, you see beautiful iconography of those celestial bodies all throughout this very Gothic-inspired cathedral, though it's not like dark stone. Everything is very much a light limestone color. Beautiful stained glass windows permeate around the whole yard, as throughout on the whole outside, and the grounds around there are very neatly kept. Very beautiful and serene area. You see many people of the cloth walking around, as well as vigils, both active and retired, walking in and out of the building, as it seems to be a very well used but well respected. As you look at the stained glass windows, you see what looks to be likeness for every one of the protector gods made into the glass. Kind of like if you think about, like, in our world, like the saints, you'd see the stained glass version of the gods as you walk past. As you enter into the cathedral itself, it is very very nice, though it's not like ostentatious with its looks. Underneath every one of those stained glass windows, you can see is a different altar to each one of the gods, as well as on the above is a beautiful mural of the sun and moon, as those are believed to be the sun as the home of all the gods, and the moon being the home of Yalfa, the watcher, ever keeping an eye out for the rest of his divine brothers and sisters.
Is there a specific place that looks like it is dedicated to Yalfa, or is that?
Yes, there is. Underneath his underneath the stained glass window for him, you see that the visage that they had chosen in this instance to recognize his likeness is what looks to be almost kind of a kingly looking man with his skin showing that same pale moonlight. As the sunlight from outside casts in, you can tell that it was created specifically for the glass to look like moonlight showing in. Around him is formed dark blue, almost the look of the night sky at twilight, and little specks of stars added in. He has a well-trimmed beard, and on him you can see what looks to be shining silver armor, fully plate mail, and a large greatsword held in two hands placed in front of him. You can see he looks to be bowing, and as you look up, you can see whoever did the art have put in underneath him tears rolling down his cheeks of pure gold.
Just speaking to Opal, let's perhaps get back together. Yeah, for however long it takes to get where we need. She's going to walk away towards that area and take out her holy symbol, and just going to be looking for some answers or some kind of connection.
Make a religion check. As you kneel down in front of the altar, maybe light some incense that reminds you of the smell of dew grass at that perfect time when day and night meet and embrace each other. Eight. As you sit there and contemplate your connection with Yalfa, you don't feel like you get a strong answer in any direction, pushing you to do a certain action as times past, that's how you felt. Similar to how you felt when you knew that you needed to join the vigils. No such answer comes at this time. As you sit there and a little bit chagrined that your God isn't willing to necessarily communicate his will with you at this time, you feel that, and you're not sure if it's him talking to you or if it's yourself reminding you. Either or, it doesn't make a difference. Maybe right now what you need is to move forward with faith and try to increase that faith. Be able to grow this connection.
Do I see if it's like a connection to Opal and like her story, or is it like am I looking for a connection
to Yaffle himself?
Yes.
As you're trying to think, it's hard to really determine what the answer is trying to tell you. You just feel like you need to practice more reverence, most likely with your God. As though you have been worshipful and you still have all the powers granted you as one of his mighty clerics. More solemnity of, or whatever the word is, more solemnity of duty may go a long ways to establishing open communication. As of right now, no answers now.
She's going to look back up at the stained glass and she's going to say, "Oh, well, I see. Suppose I haven't been as dutiful since I've been in the vigils." She's going to be kind of like, she has a serene kind of like, I keep your secrets.
Whatever. I see you. Fine, I'll play this game. Opal, what would you like to do in the chat?
After Adelaide makes that comment, Opal will sigh to herself and just speak to herself like, it'd be a whole lot easier if there was one God. In the real world, there is. And he's true. All right, Luna.
Throw back to Samantha.
Yeah. But anyway, Opal will be in the middle of the room and just take a deep breath and just control her breathing and start to try and meditate.
You all religion check.
Not 20?
20.
No. Plus the religion is 22.
Well, the way I figured is your role was
Very good.
very good. Yes, that was very good. It'd probably be more insight to what's happening rather than maybe what you're looking for. As you sit there and start pondering, you get a strong feeling that your visions are going to be more few and far between. It almost just hits you as a brick. It's not necessarily a message, but as you try to connect with the past memories of your own self, now fully emitting it, you aren't able to make it. You don't know why. You keep trying. Still nothing. Maybe you too will have to keep your own secrets for the time being, and move forward with hope that whatever happens will be the best option.
I think Opal will reside in herself and maybe say mentally, just like, since I'm not receiving anything right now, if there's a future Opal listening, I can't really advise any much advice right now, but I'd like to think this experience of choosing for yourself your own life is maybe a repetitive thing. So that provides any comfort for future Opal. Just know you're not alone. And then she'll just bow her head and just sigh of like not like that, but just sigh of like disappointment, fear, but understanding like I can't have all the answers, can't have my challenge spelled out for me and how to solve it. So if there's like an understanding and like you said, a bit of hope of like, okay, fine.
Visions. Ooh, what are they good? Some things. But you do not receive it anyway. Is there anything else that you both would like to do while you're here at the Chapel of the Moon? Or of the Sun Man?
Is there a what is that called? A little
Donation box? Alms box? Yeah. Not too far from the main entrance is a place in which can be donated and supplies.
toss in a gold for good karma.
Thank you, guys.
Opal seeing this will probably do the same thing. And
do you know how much gold that you got from?
Yeah, like he told me. Yeah. So I'll do the same thing and yeah.
As they're walking out, Adelaide's probably like, any luck with you?
No. I'm pretty quiet. So we'll see what that means. But maybe it's an opportunity to kind of take on the challenge that's ahead.
Oh, good.
How fun apart. Maybe they come when they are needed.
How long have you been here?
The whole time. Prima, you asked me to come and bring your stuff.
I have no recollection of that.
Pablo, keep your mouth shut.
What mouth? Fun apart. I don't have one.
Until I say, but I'm glad you're here.
No worries, Cherry Par. I'll keep your secret. It's not a big deal. We all get reincarnated sometimes. Wait. He like looks around to see if there's anyone standing close.
Opal will just like, really? You're doing a terrible job at this. Like,
Let's head back then. Adelaide's gonna look at Pablo kind of like,
Like,
really?
come on, dude.
You choose now to speak.
You could have been with us conversation the whole time.
I can just imagine all this is going down and like, be like, at this moment, he's just like in the background, like kicking.
He's like 10 feet away, just like.
I imagine him kind of like catching up and then
Yeah. Okay. With that, as you guys continue back towards the lighthouse, its looming presence still visible from this distance. we're going to go back to our other group as Barren, you would like to go to the quartermaster and go get a drink.
I would. A widow treat.
Widow tweet.
Barren. Oh, vampires. I need some juice.
Okay, we'll come out of the whatchamacallit,
The
service room. I don't like her, Ren.
Why? Because she called you out?
She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Well, seemed to me like she did
Yes.
know what she was talking about.
Gaslight. Gaslight.
Maybe we'll get that drink first.
Look, you don't have to tell me everything, but I am a little curious about this whole secret identity thing.
Have you ever heard of the Ravenfrosts?
Nope.
Well, now you have. I'll kind of go like this.
No, what are they?
Mom, Andy, and Alia are all here, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
I'm gonna. Yeah,
You
I'm
want
gonna walk.
to roll a history check to see if they remember anything? I think they may.
And
Would Alia recognize that name?
There's a chance that she could.
be really long for. I think.
She's a little young.
Yeah.
For her and where she's from.
I'm gonna go inside the commons place.
As soon as you guys enter into the commons, you see that there's many tables. Kind of like, think about like this is like a bar, but on steroids, as it's large because it has to feed a lot of people. Massive bar on one side with many tables and a large kitchen back there. Even from this distance, you can see a large form hulking around the back, yelling out orders, just as a military general would command his troops. A very gruff, large half-orc, probably standing almost 7 feet tall, with a little bit too small of a chef's hat. Kind of turns the corner, glancing to see who's coming in. And as soon as he looks at your group, he'll look at Ilain and go, "It's so good to see you! Get over here!" As
Who is it again?
this is Gerland.
Oh, okay. Alia's just gonna light up. And go,
What are you doing? I've been missing you this whole time.
I've been a vigil. I became a vigil.
I know.
I get it.
Are you here to help me cook or what? Get back here!
Let's go. And
Sorry.
she's going to look at everybody and be like, "You guys are all helping. Come on."
Who are these people? Are you bringing them?
These are my party members.
Oh, all right. Come on. I'll show you what to do.
Alia, you owe me a drink, and I'm gonna sit down on one of the tables.
He's gonna throw both hands up and go, yeah!
Ren, if you want to stay with Barren and talk, you can.
Sure.
Everyone else can too. I don't really know if I trust these people in my kitchen yet. I want to see their metal. I want to see what they're made of. If they got what it takes, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. None of them, I think, really know how to cook. I've been cooking everything, so it'll be good for me to see too.
They've been making you cook everything?
I mean, yeah, but I enjoy it.
Okay, fair enough. All right, come back here. We have a nice hors d'oeuvres that we need to start creating for tonight's dinner, as well as the soup and the meat that needs to be cooked still. And he just starts rattling off of each of the different dishes that he's planned to cook for the day as you both start catching up as you are old friends. Moss, are you going to help with the kitchen?
No.
No.
Moss is going to do the art of looking around and the not helping, but looking like he's helping.
One thing that you would notice at the far side of the place, around some of the tables, but set off to the side, looks to be a pit that's been made into this area with kind of a sand area. Ropes have been tied around it. You can tell this looks to be almost a fighting ring, though in it you don't see anyone dueling. It looks to be quiet, and you can actually see what looks to be some dust has formed upon the ropes themselves, as it doesn't look like it's been used in a long time. Other than that, lots of tables, big bar. There's a second floor that heads up with more tables in it. Some nooks, as well as like a place that you can stand and look down into what looks to be that fighting arena. It's mostly dimly lit, lots of wood furniture. It's to give the air of a normal tavern. The brightest light is right above the fighting area, but everything else is kind of more candlelight in feel.
I'll wave over someone and just say,
Shirley Temple.
I want orange juice. Can I get some milk?
Yeah. Give me a glass of skim milk.
give me something strong.
Okay, let's do that.
Boiled milk.
Heavy whipping cream.
Crimson and it's a little milkshake. All right, let's talk.
Got milk.
When did they put their whole chin in the cup?
It's canon now. That's how Barren drinks his drink.
He's not just drinking it; he's absorbing it. Speaking about heavy whipping cream, Brent, do you remember the video of me, my like Snapchat story when I drank the?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. You should try drinking it at some point.
Heavy whipped cream.
Yeah.
Can we go check on the baby?
It's wild.
I should be asleep.
It's all ready for a loop. Anyways, you do get something strong eventually. Placed before you. Moss, what would you like?
I have a question.
Your Faith can go first.
Brandon, do you still have this video?
I don't know. It was a story. I might still be able to look it up in my Snapchat
I'm kind
stories.
of concerned because maybe I don't want to see that.
It was pretty dumb.
Well,
Let me see if I can.
okay, that's distracting.
It is very distressing.
All right, Moss would just be like, "You got a coffee?"
It'll be brought out to you. Brent.
Is it
Brent,
all free?
yeah, your food is stipend.
Oh, so you
It's not like nice and cheap and stuff like that. But
It's great.
this here in this establishment, it's like kind of the base, like generic stuff. It's not anything to write home about. If you want better ale, it's known that there's the Two Gnomes in a Trench Coat pub. That's not too far away from the lighthouse itself.
I know we were joking about it earlier, but do they have juice?
They do have juice.
I want me some good fruit juice. If there's like a passion fruit.
Passion fruit guava.
Yeah, like
Guava pog.
yeah, maybe some mango in there. I'm all about that.
I think we can do that. I think we can.
What time is it, by the way? Like, is it?
It's 10:05.
No. In game.
Speaking of real time, I'm gonna have to dip, guys. I have work really early tomorrow morning.
It's gonna be late.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty late. I wasn't planning on going very far, very much farther. I was just going to let Barren and Ren have this little moment, and then
And then
have a little thing with Alia, and then we'll be probably done.
I still gotta.
You're good.
Sorry, guys.
All right, Moss is gonna drop
Bye.
also. Bye.
Take care.
Well, Moss left.
Well, Moss, I guess, isn't listening on this.
He fell asleep
He's
after 2 sips of his coffee.
He got set in. He's like, all right. Just got zonked.
He didn't get like a drink of it. He just went right afterwards.
They actually just gave him a glass of milk.
Yeah,
Warm milk,
warm milk.
which I don't get why that's a thing.
Bren, what do you know about me?
Honestly, not much. I know that you I don't know. You have a tattoo on your arm. Kind of looks like a tree. Opal told me, sorry we were talking about you behind your back. She said that it marks someone as a witch hunter. I know that much. I know you're good at fighting, you're resourceful, but really I don't know you at all.
Good. Let's keep it that way.
Good.
All right, we're done here.
He's so bad.
Well, I'd say a lot of that's fairly accurate. I'm gonna rotate over here. I know that you guys know that, or maybe you know this, but my family comes from. I come from a line of monster hunters. And while we do hunt monsters, and while we did, that's not what we started. We hunted magic users, more particularly witches. And so honestly, I don't know what Ilain was talking about, but I ain't no witch. I have no magic.
Maybe a witch doesn't have to have magic.
Would it be all right, McKay? I just want to talk real quick privately over there, just to make sure I remembered something correctly.
Okay,
Is that all right?
sure.
Just to confirm things with you.
I think I know what you're going to say, but sure.
Yeah, just want to confirm that.
Legal. Then suddenly Barren turns into a giant werewolf princess. And then he does a little curtsy and says, I've been telling everyone a lie. I am the princess to the Wolfie Kingdom. And
That's what I thought. I thought
Yes.
we were still in the
Or
same
maybe
page.
we give them a little kiss.
Right. Who got a little kiss? Donnie got a little kiss?
Yeah, Donnie did.
Yeah, I don't know how he feels about the lips. Yeah.
Yeah. It stings when they give him kisses, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Trust me, you got to be able to use magic to be a witch.
Okay. I mean, I don't know anything about witches, but what I do know is that, in my experience, kind of point just to the witch we just met, I'll say witches aren't bad.
Not all of them might be.
But
if you are a witch,
not
which
witch.
you might be not, you're still my friend. I won't hold it against you.
Thanks. Where I'm from, the people, my family was accused of being witches.
And why is that?
They thought that we used black magic, and that's how we were able to hunt and kill so many creatures and people.
They hated you for slaying monsters.
Yeah.
That's messed up. And Ren will take a long sip of his drink.
You really taste the mango in that one.
Yeah.
So I have my glass.
So, what is the Raven Frost?
It's a family line.
Oh, it's your family?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's not many of us left.
What was that? Sorry.
There's not very many of us left.
Well, I consider myself lucky to be friends with one of the Raven Frost.
Don't count yourself so lucky.
Well, too bad. Why would that ever be a bad thing?
I guess it depends on where you're from, but again, people think that people think we're cursed.
Ren will kind of like half chuckle, half scoff, and be like, "Yeah, I know about curses."
But you didn't study them your whole life.
Yeah, I actually know nothing about curses, but I know what it's like to feel cursed. But like I said, there's always a good side. In
The
theory.
people like us, Ren. They hunted us like dogs. It was me and my sister. That's it.
And they still hunt you?
Don't know. I haven't been back. It's been coming up on 10 years now.
Well, I know you to be not anything that people would hunt or kill. I know that someday you'll bring honor to your family name.
That honor's long dead. I'll take another drink.
Well, we'll see. I know you've already saved a city from a powerful shadow. I think that's pretty honorable.
That's the vigils, not me.
I don't know about that. I don't think the vigil did anything. It was us. Sure, acting under the vigils, but it was still us making decisions, calling the shots, piecing it all together. I fully support the whole group mentality and we're all in this together sort of thing where one man's victory is also another's, but that doesn't mean that you can't have any victories.
Yeah, well, don't go trying to change me, Ren.
As he just keeps drinking alcohol. I imagine
Not
this person getting pretty. You've gotten a good amount of drinks in.
Oh, I think he's just still in the.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's just been nursing the one?
Yeah.
Well, the way that you've been making it look.
He always spits it back up just to do it again.
It's like a cow.
I was gonna say one more thing. What was I gonna say? Just be careful with that witch over there. Don't trust her. If we find her sister, I'm staking her through the heart. I'm gonna stand up and I'll walk out of there.
Ren will,
as I leave,
look down at his juice and kind of mutter to himself, "I don't doubt that you will."
It's at this moment after this, Alia, after helping prepare some of what's going to be the evening soup, Gerlin would pull you aside. Alia, I have a favor to ask.
What? What can I do for you?
I need your help.
Okay. What? With what?
We have a problem. The old fighting ring.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be competition every Saturday night, but the vigil who kind of figured it out took care of it. He's retired. You could say at least. I was wondering. Whoa. We have some serious lightning going on here. Yeah. Anyways, I was hoping that you could keep an eye out on maybe someone who'd be good to take over. I've noticed that we've been losing a lot of our numbers to go and spend the days over at Two Gnomes in the Trenchcoat Pub, as well as other places that I just feel like with the increase of monsters and reports like that, we could use some more, jovialness with the vigils. So if you just keep an eye on it, I'd really appreciate
it. Yeah, I can do that. That's easy enough, I think.
Appreciate that. Well, anyways, back to cooking. As you and him keep going among your work, as the camera zooms out to Ren, sitting there contemplating drinking his juice with Moss that's just conked out, sleeping. Eve flitting in the corner from table to table, just bothering other vigils as it slowly zooms out to Barren, I would imagine you almost like you just walked around the corner and you just probably just stand there looking down at the ground not too far away, holding the book that you're about to take to your sister.
Gone through with 40 minutes for finished.
Oh yeah, I know, but you went out of the it's like for the perspective, like the camera view is you're going out. You just stopped out, pulled out the book you're planning on giving to your sister. As you zooming out a little bit further, you see Opal and Adelaide walking towards the commons, just about at that moment as well. That's where we'll end it for tonight. Some serious chats. You got your rooms? Exciting. Anyways, dungeon.
Dungeon house.